Hello, hello, and welcome along to the very first episode of Miltern, a pirate adventure.
Whoop, whoop.
Ahoy!
Goodbye.
It's the same team that Sogravia'd away. We lost Jay fairly early on, and we completed Sogravia with these 6 people, and for some odd reason, they've all come back. Isn't that exciting?
I was threatened. Please help.
We will be kicking off the beginning of this pirate campaign, which is part 2 of our 3-part trilogy. And we'll see you in 100 episodes. In the meantime, let us begin by asking you what the hell you guys are playing. Michaela, I think I've done this well. We've got, it won't be, the order of the players won't be relevant until about episode 16, but if anybody picks up on it, excellent work.
Interesting.
Michaela, who are you playing? Just give us a name, their class, their subclass, nothing more.
Oh, okay. I'm playing Lux, the Satyr, Stars Druid. Oh, sorry, I put race. You didn't say race, but I snuck it in there.
No, race is good, race is good.
How dare
name,
you?
Race, class, and subclass, yeah. Matt?
You deleted my boat. I'm playing a...
No, I didn't. I deleted your boat's, what's it called? Subtitles.
I'm playing a swashbuckler changeling rogue named Catalina.
Duff?
Yeah, I am playing Neptune, the Water Genasi Paladin.
Jamel?
I'm going to be playing Athron, one of the Cursed Elves. I'm going to be playing an Artillerist Artificer.
By Cursed Elves, you mean High Elf?
Yes! You remember Stay Away from the Cursed Elves?
No.
Just elves in general.
No one knows what you're talking about.
Josh!
Oh,
that's
that's a
okay. You can tell yourself the explanation. Josh!
Hi, I'm Josh. I will be playing Percival Evermore, the Fathomless Warlock, and High Elf. Not cursed.
And Delora!
I'm Alora. I will be playing Annika, the High Half-Elf Sorcerer, Draconic Sorcerer.
Yeah, you see, I nearly wrote High Half-Elf there, and it just looked like it was a half-elf on weed, and I was like, no, I'm just leave it where it is, and just
That's
write
what I
half-elf.
heard.
Always, baby.
Yes. Josh was like, you could put
High elf.
half-elf brackets high. I was like, that has the same effect.
No.
So, welcome along. Our tale begins with a tavern. The Salty Sea Dog Tavern, in fact. And in the Salty Sea Dog Tavern, we come to one specific player. Michaela, your character, I'm assuming is sat in the corner, at a sort of, the same table they've been at for a few weeks. Perhaps telling the odd truth. I will reveal no more than that. When swaggering in, finally, comes the person you've been waiting for all this long. And,
Who have you been waiting for?
And as she sort of marches on in with a she's sort of holding, she's got her arm over the shoulder of another woman. Sonya Redcap wanders in.
Wee mama.
With Olive Wurzel at her side, sort of hand on her shoulder, and they come in looking very very pleased with themselves. Very, there's definitely an element of celebration and party, and filing in behind her like an entire crew. But then next to her, or slightly behind her, I guess, is another woman who looks to be another pirate of some sort. But instead of her normal pirate hat, she's wearing a crown of silver, gold, and jewels, and is draped in a large red cloak. And you're just hearing various shouts of, "Oh, aye for Marilyn! Aye for Marilyn!" And it won't take you...
Marilyn.
Yes, Marilyn Cage,
I joined them.
in fact. And it won't take you long to work out that, from the news, that Sonya Redcap has finally taken the boat she's been chasing for over 5 years. The Crimson Sail is what she's renaming it. But it was originally known as Sea Dancer, one of the fastest ships on the ocean. A merchant ship that Sonya finally managed to corner. She killed every member of the crew and tossed them to the sea. She's going to take this new ship as her own. And to do so, she's going to need a whole new crew, really. She's leaving Marilyn Cage as the captain of her old ship, the Bloody Keel, which is a very well-known ship. It got its name for the number of people keel-hauled by Sonya Redcap in the past. But she's going to leave Marilyn Cage in command of that and bring some of her crack crew onto the new Crimson Sail, but she's going to need a new base crew. And you see her sort of wending her way through the crowds towards you. McKenna, describe your character. What do they look like? What are they wearing? Why are they there?
Yeah, so Lux is a satyr, so she's got some very furry white goat legs with hooves, shaggy white hair, black horns that just kind of point straight up. And she is dressed kind of, I guess some might say skimpy, you know. She is, but like, it's kind of a mixture of like kind of, I don't know how to say, like, thrown together, but with a few kind of nice things that stand out. So like, she's got this shimmering, like starry patterned scarf and some like nice real gold earrings, you know, compared to like her very simple attire otherwise. And she is sitting at a table in the back of the bar, got some tarot cards out, looking properly mystic. And I think when she sees Captain Sonya walk in, I'm gonna activate my Glamour Weave scarf to try to really catch her attention. So like this swirling star pattern just kind of starts shimmering. But yeah, she's kind of sitting in the back reading fortunes in this bar.
And as she sees this, Sonya sort of wends her way through the crowd and comes and puts her hand near the table and says, "So, did the fortunes tell you that I would be victorious today? Did they tell you that soon you'll be part of my crew?"
I mean, I might have heard a little something here and there, but I don't need to read the fortunes to know that. Sonya, Captain Redcap, excuse me, you're the talk of the town. Congratulations.
It is my town. And just to give you an idea, we are currently in Grimport, in Skull Island. I think we should have a little boat on the picture here. Don't worry if your image is blurry.
Oh, it's so cute.
It will unblurificate at some point.
Blurification.
So, yeah, we
This
are
little
in
boat here.
Grimport. Yes,
Nice.
just here. Which is in Skull Island. And Grimport is basically, these days, Sonya's town. She has only the one, well, she's now got 2 boats, but she had only the 1 boat, but she's got a few other pirates sort of paying her tribute, etc. She's really garnered a reputation of being one of the toughest pirates in town. And landing at Skull Island is quite difficult. You've got to be able to navigate the channels up and through the gap between Skull Island and Freeport and work your way around. She sort of looks to you and, "I'll be sailing out of here on a brand new boat. Say you come on and keep the sooths in our favor."
I would be honored. Wow. I'll like motion to the table. How about a reading to see how the start of our new relationship is gonna go?
Surely it doesn't take cards to tell you that victory, plunder, and treasures in our future, but by all means. She sort of sits back and relaxes. She puts her hands behind her head. She puts 1 boot up on the table. And very quickly, Olive comes and sits on her leg that is down. And hands her a sort of large tankard, which she sort of takes a deep draw from and say on, soothsayer.
Okay. Well, Lux will start shuffling the cards, and I do have a real life prop for this character. I have my own tarot cards.
And
I thought it'd be fun to draw one for our campaign, you know,
and
the start.
just before you go, or start with that, looking sort of slightly over your shoulder from a little way back in the tavern, maybe a couple of tables away, sort of trying to see exactly what's happening. Matt, please describe your character.
Obi.
Oh god. I'm playing Catalina, who is a changeling. She has, let's see. She got your typical pirate outfit already on. She has a nice brownish, leathery, open jacket with a white shirt underneath. Her eyes are like ocean blue, but they kind of shimmer. Although, who knows if that's her real eye color. She has a yellow bandana and long flowing hair out of it that when it gets windy will be flowing picture perfect. She's kind of sitting back, not drawing attention to herself.
Yeah, but just over the shoulder of Lux, you'll be able to see this sort of fortune telling happening. And Lux, what is happening?
Well, here's the card I drew. The Chariot. That is, Lux will look that over and just kind of kind of roll her eyes like, this is totally expected. She says, well, of course, the Chariot for Captain Sonya. This is, well, you've only captured all these things with your own strength and determination and willpower. I see more of that in the future. So basically, yeah, this card is about, making a decision and following through and making it happen. And, yeah, I think that's a good sign, Captain.
Good. Glad. Otherwise, I can't throw you overboard before you've got on. I'll introduce you to the rest of the crew over the course of the evening. This is Olive. She's my first mate. She sort of pulls her a little tighter. And stepping up from second mate on the Crimson Keel, on the Bloody Keel. I couldn't leave her behind, of course. And Olive just sort of raises her hand. Hey. Says nothing more. Gives you a little shy smile. And she sort of gestures around the tavern at a few other people. She says, those two at that table over there are going to be part of the new crew. Over there, those dwarves, they'll be joining us. And a few others. Why don't you get to know everybody? Get to meet them over the course of the evening. It's important to know your crewmates. And these two gentlemen she gestured towards are sat at a table a little across the way. And I don't know what they look like, but Darth and Jamal probably do. Darth, what does your character look like? Who are they? Please describe them.
Yeah, so my character is wearing, some splint armor, but, it's a little bit tattered. As well as he has an adventuring belt strapped to his chest like a bandolier with multiple different, potions, bottles, a couple bombs, with shields and axe on his back with... Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. And sitting across the table from you, Jamal, please describe your character.
So, Atherin's actually kind of a short king as far as elves go. He's a little bit shorter, well, actually quite a bit shorter than the average human.
Nice.
So
he's short, not short.
Yeah, he's pretty short. He's 5'4" or 5'5" or something. He's short king status. Pretty long, dark hair, sort of almost a blackish brown. And he's at the minute he's wearing what could be described as something a bit more smart casual. He's got this buttoned up shirt, but he's left it unbuttoned a bit, kind of like a fuckboy. He's got these
he's the fuckboy.
Yeah, he's got some quite nice fitted trousers, belted up, and some pretty nice shiny shoes and everything. He's just sitting down at a chair at the table near the back, just leaning back and reclining with a mug of ale.
As the two
looking
of you,
pretty relaxed.
As the two of you sit and observe, sort of wandering on over to you, is a dwarf. And he sort of steps over and stares at you fairly intently, both of you, one and then the other. No.
You need something?
Not who I'm looking for. I just sort of looks around and looking for an elf, but not as fancy as you.
Fair enough.
And as he sort of wanders throughout the bar, standing on a back wall, sort of observing proceedings, with a dwarf right up in his face. Josh, please describe your character.
Oh no.
You good?
Oh, it's
died.
fucking Chop Chop.
I wasn't expecting to see Chop Chop.
I wasn't.
What a
oh my
name.
goodness. Oh my
We'll
god.
talk about Chop Chop in a second. Just tell us about your
Oh
character.
man. Okay, yeah. So, my character is a high elf. He is not a short king. He is a tall king. He is like 6'5" or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, he's stood like leaning against the wall, like arms folded. He's got very traditional pirate hat on. There's a few like dark blue feathers and white feathers coming out of it. He's wearing very like simple attire, just like a white kind of linen shirt with a blue vest over it, and just like regular pants and boots, and brown gloves. And he's just kind of like sat, like he's kind of stood against the wall, like arms crossed. He's kind of like, if looks could kill everyone in the room would be dead, but not because he hates everyone. It's more like everyone in this room is so below him, like he can barely like care to be there.
Typical high elf.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
That's him. Oh, and he's got bubblegum pink hair.
So cute.
That's
That's
parted in the
gay.
middle and blue eyes.
And this dwarf sort of almost tiptoes to stare right in your face. I think it's you. And as he says this, he sort of sprays you with a bit of spit, and his you can smell the garlic on his breath. You the chefin', right? Gonna be doing the cooking. That you?
I like very slowly like look down at him. What is it you want, dwarf?
You're gonna be fun. You'll be under me. That is to say, I'll be. I'm the main chef, and you'll be the lesser chef.
It's gonna grow.
I'm gonna
teach you the ropes. And the kitchen, and the galley, and all that.
I will like the very slightest of nods, like barely moving my head. But I'm gonna use prestidigitation to. I'm not gonna use one of the. Not gonna use one of the recommended one. I'm gonna use one that's like something similar. So I'm gonna create an instantaneous harmless sensory effect. So I'm gonna like have like a puff of like sprayed water in his face. And I'm just gonna, as I like slightly nod, I'll just like looking down, be like, let's keep our bodily fluids inside ourselves, dwarf.
In a sense, I did clarify. I didn't mean under me. Like, and I can see that you might be the sort of person to get involved in that kind of activity, and I don't want to. I'm not elvish, he says, and sort of passes on his. But more to the point, lad. You'll be coming on the boat and learning it with me. You know.
I'm gonna do the thing again. I'm just gonna say,
He sort
I
of
make
does
your
this as if
spit, dwarf.
He likes it.
Well. Right. Yeah. Not enough ale. That's what it is. Anyway, meet the sous chefs. That's Laurie, Nori, Ori, Rory, Corey, and Brian. And he just gestures
Brian.
towards 6 dwarves to his right.
As he gestures, my eyes don't leave him.
Okay. Of the 6 dwarves, one of them sort of heads on over and, hey, you're the new chef. New chef? Yeah, that you?
My eyes are very, very quickly dart over to him.
You're the new chef.
And you are.
Hi, Brian. Pleasure to meet you. And he sort of bows and lifts his hand to shake your hand twice, which is sort of really awkward because his hand's moving and he's not really, no idea what's really going on. And then it's a pleasure. It's an honor. The last chef died, and it's nice to have you instead. Wonderful. Fantastic to meet you. We'll be working together. Can I get you an ale?
No.
Right, of course. Can I get you a wine?
No, dwarf.
Damn.
Brian. Dwarf would be a confusing term, you see, because, well, Chop Chop's also a dwarf, and so are Lori, Nori, Ori, Rory, and Cory. They're my brothers. I mean, he gestures towards the five of them in a line. And if you say dwarf, you never know which one of us might reply. Brian.
I'm gonna push, I'm gonna get off from leaning against the wall, and I'm just gonna walk past them, and as I do, I'm just gonna very softly say to him, "Wouldn't it be such a pity to die so young?"
It would! Indeed, the other chef was very young as well. I guess you don't want anything to drink. Have a nice evening! And then he sort of turns back and, cheerful fellow, isn't he?
I'm gonna head straight. I'm gonna head towards Sonya.
Okay. But as you do so, you're cut off by somebody striding across the tavern, headed towards the bar, or Sonya, you're not sure. And I'm not sure either. Laura, what is your character? What are they doing, and where the hell are you going?
So she is a half-elf woman. She has raven black hair that has a lot of wooden and metal jewelry braided in. Looks like it was probably custom made. She's got a worn leather coat, and on her arms it seems like it's been worn from the inside, and you can see that she has golden scales on her arms that have worn through, and there's also some scaling on her face. She has a locket around her neck, is sort of hidden underneath her shirt. Mostly what you can just see is a chain. She's also, in very un-pirate-like fashion, not holding a weapon of any sort, but I definitely am making a beeline for the bar as I pull out my flask and I just hold it out and say, fill her up.
And as you do so, the sort of standing behind the bar is a fairly large man in height. He's not fat at all. He's very well muscled, sort of strong shoulders. His skin has a slight blue-grey tinge to it. He stands sort of 6'7" tall, and he's bald, except for a very, very thin single braid that goes all the way down his head and right down his back. And he's sort of standing there with his arms folded, and as you say, fill her up, he sort of nods his head and then puts his hand out for a copper piece.
Which I'll hand over.
And as he nods his head, you just, from your position, you just see a tankard sort of move across and move back a little bit and then raise up, and then come right next to him, and you just hear, "Here you go, sir!" And then he sort of reaches down and hands you the tankard. You can't see who has made it, but you know someone is on the other side of the bar who is too short to be seen. And as he hands you said ale, you see Sonya and Olive coming towards you. And from the other side, you see Percival coming towards you. And Sonya sort of looks to you and, your berth is up. We'll be sailing in the morning. New ship.
Captain.
You too. Percival, right? You'll be joining us in the morning? You're muted.
He doesn't want to talk.
I said, yes, Captain.
She sort of looks at you, and bright and early, there'll be breakfast on the boat tomorrow. Chop Chop says, not in the tavern. We've all got rooms upstairs, I assume. And she sort of, at this moment, just jumps up on a table and stamps her foot and, "Hey! All of you! Hey!
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's it. Cut that music out. Enough of that. Right, listen to me. Apart from you, Rosen, and your little friend, the rest of you, new berth tomorrow. So, I'll be taking over as captain of the Crimson Sail. That's what we're calling the new ship that we finally caught. And you just hear, "Way!" sort of from various crew members cheering as she says this. So if you're part of the new crew, you'll be joining me. Old crew, I'm sure you all know your positions. Marilyn's going to be your new captain. Oh, Marilyn! She'll be looking after you. So get to know your crewmates. Get to know each other. Don't get too drunk, because you're sailing out in the morning. If you're part of Marilyn's crew, you can drink all you like. And, try not to come on board with any debts. plenty of time to earn those once you're on. And, welcome! Welcome to the crew! Any questions, you can ask William or Derek. And she will gesture towards Derek, who is here, and that's her second mate. And he's sort of a bit of an old sea dog. He's smoking a pipe. He's got a large tank, and he's sort of standing in the windowsill, and you can see he's telling a tale, or is in the process of telling a tale to a few people around, and he sort of raises his one hand and nods. And then she says, William! Has anyone seen William? Captain, I think he's outside. And then sort of bursting through the door, you see the most typical pirate you've ever seen. With a pirate on his shoulder, a wooden leg, a cutlass, an eye patch, a pirate hat. He's got two bandanas on, a rugged beard, like he's got a little silken shirt underneath his leathers. Did someone say my name? You got any questions, you can come to William. William will look after you.
Oh, so he's stupid.
I feel like Derek's gonna betray us. I can just see it in his eyes.
Because they're red?
I
Yes.
agree.
He looks like a judgment.
Derek will probably betray us, but in the meantime, I'm William McCanty. And he sort of comes over and claps you on the back, Percy, quite heavily. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. And who are you?
Sorry, you said he was the second mate?
He
What was he?
is the third mate.
The
So he
third
is the
mate.
person
How
who will
many
be
mates Yeah.
Who's
so
the
he'll
fourth
be
mate?
he'll be directly in command of the crew.
Mm-hmm.
The second mate is more likely to be in charge of the boat itself and making sure like shift changes, stuff like that. And the first mate is more sort of the captain's word. So Olive is first mate, and then yeah.
Yep. As he claps my back, I just remain completely straight, like not going over at all. He asked me who I was, right?
Aye.
Yeah. Percival Evermore, sous chef.
Ah, yes, gotcha. And you, lass? And he sort of turns to you, Alora.
Annika.
What's that?
Annika.
Right. Oh, right. You the one we picked up off that merchant ship, right?
Yep.
Great. I've got 8 other newbies to meet in. Aye! Sort of looks around and... Aye! Who's Catalina in here?
She'll look up but not say anything.
You didn't look like that the last time we met.
She'll slap him.
Who is this?
Catalina
Attack roll.
dies.
Which one of these
gonna
guys is
die.
getting slapped? Is it William or Derek?
William McCanty.
It's good old Bill.
Oh, Bill, okay.
It's an unarmed strike, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Matt's got a backup.
I hope it's unarmed.
Unless you're slapping it with a dagger.
That's a 3.
Wow, just whoosh.
Failed to connect with Bosun Bill.
He steps back and, lass, we're gonna pretend that you didn't do that. Are you Catalina?
I am.
Good. I'll be in charge of your first day's duties, so it'd behoove you well to, sort of slightly behave yourself. I was gonna ask you if you could, run the rigging. Look out
I'll do
with
that.
Kira. I don't know where Kira
Kira's
is.
here.
Oh no.
He sort of looks around and damn tieflings never anywhere to be found. Then he sort of looks around again and... Carpenter! Looking for a carpenter! Looks over and...
So
Aye,
demure.
You, yes. Got to show you round the ship tonight.
All right.
You drunk?
Nope.
Makes a fucking change. Great. And then he sort of nods, and who the fuck are you? He looks over to the elf opposite you.
Who am I? Name's
Yeah,
Atherin.
Atherin. Oh, you the pretty boy. City boy, that's what I meant, right? You do the cannon thing, right?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, Captain wants to speak with you. That's her. And he points to the woman who was literally
Sonya.
stood at a table 2 seconds ago shouting at you all. Yes, she wants a word with you.
Well, alright then. I pull myself up off my chair and as I do, I'm muttering, ain't drunk enough for this yet.
That's the spirit, lad. And you just hear the parrot go, pretty boy, city boy, as you run off.
What a good bird.
And as you wander over to Sonya, she's engaged in a conversation with a gnome.
Oh my god,
And
so cute.
this gnome is sort of, no, won't work, not a chance, can't do it, not a possibility, not even slightly. And I don't need an apprentice! And as he shouts this, Atherin, you turn up. And she sort of goes, Farix, on that note, this is Atherin. He will be your apprentice. I don't need an apprentice! And he sort of looks up at you and looks down.
Dad?
Everyone's telling me how to do my job. I can do my job. Perfect. Everything. Big blasts. Farix. Every time. Don't need anything else. Stupid nobody cannon on a ship. You can't put a cannon on a ship. The ship will keel over. Idiots. Idiots, the lot of them. You cannon boy.
Done it before.
You're an idiot.
No, that's City Boy.
It worked.
Worked.
Oh yeah.
Show me the blueprints. Come on. And he sort of leads you over to the table, and Sonya's sort of like,
That got his interest real quick.
Atherin,
I know.
you'll be with Farix tomorrow. Good luck. And she just sort of wanders off back to the bar.
He said, "Good luck."
And,
Work right away.
Yeah, I mean, very quickly, as you, sorry, I haven't got your character names done yet. Neptune. As you are led out to the harbour, there are 2 ships in the harbour. The first of which is the Bloody Keel, Sonya's own boat, which she has given the care of over to Marilyn Cage, and the Crimson Sail, which is what you're going to be sailing on.
Ooh.
And if I can find the
Oh
thing
the
with
fuck yeah, that's a
music of-
beautiful ship. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Pretty.
Neptune has a big, like, childish smile on his face seeing them.
That's the ship we're riding, the Crimson Sail?
That's what you're
Hell
doing.
yeah.
Looks like it could do with a few new sails, but
Sorry,
nice.
what's the Bloody Keel then?
That's the ship that Sonya has been captaining for years. She's now given it over to her second mate, Marilyn Cage, because she's just captured what was known as Sea Dancer and is now known as the Crimson Sail. Only
Yeah.
problem with
Way cooler
Sea
name.
Dancer. Who was the captain? The Teletubbies?
Literally.
a merchant.
It's
of some
giving
sort.
Santa.
But yeah,
Santa!
as you are led out to the ship, you'll notice that the gangplank is down on the Crimson Sail, and one person is sat on the back of the ship, although he's taller than you would be standing. And
Wait,
as you look,
him sitting is taller than me standing.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
and as you sort of approach, you just hear this sort of and he's just holding long notes over and over again of some sort. And you can just see trembling a slight pipe over his shoulder. The instrument is tiny in comparison to him. And you can see him trying to press the bagpipe with his wrist, as he's too large to play it. And you do see he is a hill giant, or perhaps even a stone giant.
Oh my god.
I love his sweater.
Standing
The
over
sweater.
18 foot tall, wearing an ill-fitted... what was I thinking? With
Why
an
did you write
ill-fitted knitted sweater.
You played yourself.
Knitted sweater, baby. Let's go!
Oh my god, that's
I hope
really
he
Struggling,
knits one
James.
for all of us.
literally.
Yeah, standing there with an ill-fitted knitted sweater, a long beard with braids and little bells in it, and a sort of pair of almost khaki shorts that just don't fit him at all and are way too tight around the thigh, and then big, long, sort of uncovered legs and bare feet that are huge and hairy, and shouting up to him, while William McCanty says, "Aye, Bach! 2 coming on!" 2. Right.
I love him.
And then he, as you come on, he sort of points you, "New one!" And then he goes back to the bagpipe and continues on with these long, droning notes. And William will show you briefly around the boat. But basically, the whole reason that he's got you on the ship early is he tells you first thing in the morning or late tonight at some point, the captain wants the door put back on.
Oh, wow.
And he'll sort of gesture towards 2 little broken planks of wood and a single door handle just lying on the floor, and then a big hole where the captain's chambers would be.
Oh, yeah.
There is a massive blood splatter on the wall. The whole room is completely trashed. He sort of looks around and you might want to put the captain's quarters back together a little bit as well. Not in a good state, is it?
Yikes.
I wasn't there when we took I hadn't seen the job.
He looks at it, and it's like a very pained expression on his face. Not that like, oh, I have to do this job, but it's just like who would do this?
Yeah, and you get the impression that the door has been like kicked in and then sort of pummeled through, and then somebody has burst in and just slit the throat of somebody standing there with no sort of questions asked. You can see the blood sort of all the way up the wall.
You know.
He just sort of looks over and, I can get you another door if you want. That'd help.
He looks at like the pieces of the door and says, yeah, I think that would probably be a
Fuck!
good idea.
See that hut? Just down there on the right. Can we have its door? Boxer stands up and I was playing pipes. Puts the pipes down and looks a bit sad. Then he goes over, and as he steps on the edge of the boat near the gangplank, the whole boat tilts slightly to the side. And then he sort of leaps off as the boat sort of goes down and up again, and it feels like you just entered some more turmoiled seas. And he jumps down, and he just reaches his hand down and puts his fist through the top of the shanty hut, just above the door, and then grabs the door and turns round, and then just hands it to Neptune, who's sort of... not to Neptune, sorry, to William, who sort of grabs it and looks for your help.
Yeah, I'll help him. Yeah, I'll help him pick it up. Thank you.
Excuse me? That's my door! And as you look down, there's a woman with 2 kids sat in front of the hearth, with now just a house with an open hole at the front of their door. Boxer
You can
looks
have
down.
our door pieces.
Boxer looks down and, cold. And then he reaches down, he just grabs a spare sail off the edge of the harbour, and then just sort of puts it over the front of their building. Done. Gets
good
back
enough.
on the ship, and as it sort of tilts down, we'll leave you fixing that. While in the tavern, 4 or 5 of you have sort of... 4 of you, sorry, have grouped towards each other. Percy, you were headed to Sonya, right? So you've...
Well, yeah, but then she, got up on the table.
So you've been
and
left
started
standing in front
making
of the
speeches.
bar.
Yeah. So whilst I'm there, I actually would turn to Annika. Is that how you pronounce it, Laura? Yeah. Yeah. So he's kind of like looking you over. He's very like you can tell that he's looking at your scales specifically.
I will
Like-
be just like ignoring you, pouring from the tankard into my flask, and then just without looking at you, I'll just, can I help you?
No, I'm afraid you can't.
Then why are you staring?
You have dragon's blood.
And
That is all. And I'll turn away.
I hate this kid.
I'll drink a stupid water and I'll take a swig.
Oh,
As you say that, as you
Told
turn, you'll
her.
see Catalina and Lux also sort of moving vaguely towards the bar.
oh, actually, I did want to talk to. Did we see Catalina just try to slap that guy?
Yes, this did happen,
Okay,
right
good.
in the middle of the tavern.
Okay, yeah, so I'm looking around kind of confused, and yeah, I'll go up to her. Hey, did you just try to slap that guy? What happened? Did he make a pass at you or something?
Did you not hear what he said?
No, I was. What? What is it?
Well, he insinuated we had prior relations, and I've never met him before. So yes, I tried to slap him.
I got you. Say no more. Yeah, the men around here are pigs.
As you're saying this, the gentleman sort of leans over. I didn't hear you say that at all. You said you
Pulls out a
didn't
gun.
look like that yesterday, which was kind of true. You did look different.
Well, I had never met him till today, and I assumed he meant something else.
But we all
Uh,
saw you.
You know what they say when
don't
you assume.
How would you have met me yesterday?
You came into the tavern looking for work, didn't you?
That wasn't me.
Is Catalina lying right now? Can I tell?
No.
Okay.
You sure
Um,
about that?
I don't think she's lying.
No. And he sort of.
Someone cast Circle of Truth.
I see.
All
This
right,
guy's
we'll do.
hot.
All of them are.
I had to refresh to see this guy.
Sort of nods.
Oh, Matthias.
I see.
okay.
Mathis.
Oh, Mathis.
Mathis.
Matthias.
Sort of, and he will introduce himself. Mathis Denworthy, quartermaster for the ship. I'm in charge of supplies. You need anything special, any of you? Need your hammock strung up different? Got your own hammock? Need a spare
Oh, you can
bedroll?
string up my hammock.
Aye, that's what I do.
The innuendo.
I like how he's just like, yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, literally, just woo.
I'll be fitting out the ship for all of you. A pleasure.
Okay.
You get into this business by choice?
Oh yeah, 100%.
He looks over at Percival and Catalina to also gain their answers.
Yeah.
And Anna
Correct.
Yeah, I chose to be here.
You were on the merchant ship, weren't you?
Circumstance.
Circumstance got me involved. About 8 years now. Still,
Wow.
got a head for numbers and figures, but much of a taste for blood. That's part of the job, I guess. Sonya will want
I'll
to see
say.
you at your nastiest tomorrow. She likes a bit of an induction.
Ooh. What does that mean?
And different every time. Bit of a test, if you will.
What was yours?
I didn't join the crew by choice. Induction was getting my chains cut off. Most pirates hate slaves. But, I did Sonya wrong. In her eyes. So,
What did you do?
my father was one of her first tax victims. She takes a percentage of his sales. I made it look like we were giving her the money when we were taking a little bit more for ourselves. Through the table, that sort of thing. I was the price. But I work by my choice now.
You don't hold anything against the captain for forcing you into this life?
Dad lives better now than he ever did. Lets me keep my share. Help them. She doesn't make me jump onto another ship with a sword in my hand, so it's a plus point. So, any special requests? The unusual supplies you need putting on the ship?
Are there workspaces?
Sort of work.
Delicate work.
Gutting a fish.
Sure.
Right. Well, there's Farrax's workshop. He's taken the second mate's chambers. There's also the main. There's a cabin on the below decks. It's got like big bench in it for carpentry and stuff, and some spare parts. And I could put aside a little space and a side table if you need it.
That'll work.
You a professional fish gutter?
I craft.
Ooh.
I'll just sort of turn my head and point out the jewelry braided and on her ears.
Ooh. Beautiful. Could you make me something like that for the horns?
Depends on what you supply.
Oh, we're getting friendly. I'll be leaving.
No, wait,
Yes.
stay, Mathis.
I'm not here to make friends.
Clearly.
I like him.
It's towards you, and if you survive your first month, then we'll talk.
See you then. I wink.
The tiniest hint of a smile goes on his face when you say "see you then." He likes your confidence, but he refuses to acknowledge it. And he heads over towards
That's fine.
Farrax and Athron. Athron, Farrax is sort of sat in front of you and is demanding every detail of how the cannon worked. And we're not going to. You can tell us all about that when you put the cannon on.
No,
the ship.
but at this point, I'm just stood there with a little bit of charcoal, sort of like as a stand-in for like chalk on a blackboard, and we've just unfurled this bit of canvas as a stand-in for parchment, and I'm just sketching out the base design of and demonstrating the function of how this damn thing works.
He alternates between calling you an imbecile and being fascinated by such a prospect. He doesn't seem to have any control over calling you an idiot. It just seems a natural habit. And at every time that part of the loop comes, I look around thinking somebody's just knocked on my door. The ambience. There's a door knock somewhere in this ambience. And it's driving me nuts. I keep thinking, why would Josh knock on the door? He's on. And then I look at the camera and I'm like, that's not possible. He's here.
Wow. It's made
Yeah,
to
you gotta change that shit.
Your house is haunted. Your house is haunted, James.
Oh, it's really neatly done. It's like
It
right in
is.
just one ear from the background as well. It's good. But yeah, Mathis comes over to you, Athron, and to Farrax, and shortly after as he walks up, you see Neptune coming across the room, having put the door back on, I assume. A pretty simple job for Neptune. You would have managed. Bok bids you farewell. William comes in after you, and he sort of watches as you return to the table, and as the four of you gather round, Mathis sort of looks to Neptune and Athron and says, Mathis Denworthy, at your service. I'm the ship's quartermaster. I'll be stringing the hammocks and setting up the rooms. Am I to understand you need the workshop? He looks to Neptune.
If it's not too much to ask.
You either need it or you don't, son. Are you the carpenter?
Yeah.
Then you need the carpenter's workshop. And he sort of looks to Farrax and Athron, and you'd be Athron, is that right?
Aye, that's me. Pleased to make
You
your
can
acquaintance.
work in Farrax's... Sort of twitches his head, a bit surprised that you sound a little bit more noble of tongue. your tone sort of matches his a little bit, and he sort of nods. And you'll be working with Farrax, but you'll also be assisting me. You'll bunk with the commons, though.
Sure.
Any special requests? Any strange equipment you need put on the ship? He's looking to both of you again now, or any just a regular hammock down in the below decks.
That works for me.
Do have a hammock in the workshop if there's space.
No.
Okay.
He just sort of instantly shuts you down, and then Farrax sort of,
It did not fight at all. Okay.
workshop's pretty small, even with only me in it. Sorry. And
All good. Just wanted to keep an eye on stuff as I'm working, you know.
he sort of gives you a funny look, and just because you can make a cannon, it's still my workshop.
Okay.
Raises a stubby finger.
Right.
Sort of, and you're to help me and the quartermaster. And the carpenter if necessary. And anyone else who tells you to help. Sort of prods you a little bit. In the shoulder and then the side of the cheek.
Sure. Can I at least get a decent wooden chair?
At least that.
He's like gonna kill him.
Just sort of looks at you and closer. Maybe. And then as you guys are sort of gathering round, William will sort of collect a few people, and you notice he's got a tiefling under his arm as he's sort of like leading the tiefling in. A fairly attractive tiefling comes in. He's got a pair of daggers at his belt, another pair of daggers at his back. He's got two sort of crossed short swords over his back, a couple of daggers at his right knee. You can see there's a dagger in the back of both of his boots. And William sort of, "Aye, the crew of the Crimson Sail!" He looks really angry.
Aye!
And then he sort of, "You meant to repeat it, Tufts, as me! Aye, the crew of the Crimson Sail!"
Aye. The crew of the Crimson Sail. Is anyone else saying it?
Mathis, Kira, but Kira very quietly right next to it. And then suddenly sort of bundling out of what looks to be the bathroom of the tavern, you just hear, "Aye, the crew of the Crimson Sail!" And 5 dwarves come rambunctiously piling out. And they all salute simultaneously. That is, of course, Lori, Nori, Ori, Rory, and Cory.
They're so cute.
Where's Brian?
Yeah, where's Brian?
Yeah, where's Brian?
No Brian in
Wait,
sight.
why does
Just those
Cory
5.
look like Brian?
Well, they all look a little alike. They're all brothers. Brian's just the bright-eyed, blue-eyed one.
Oh, okay.
It's so cute.
It looks like he's
Not enough
13.
space on my screen.
He look-
No, I had to do them
like
one by one. I just realised I'm not ready. Maybe I'll introduce them to stream as well. It's a lot of pictures. But, so we have Cory and Rory and Ori, who's really, really large apparently because I've clicked it. And Nori and Lori and Brian.
They look like they just came out of a Spirit Halloween.
Yeah, Brian isn't there. The 5 of them sort of salute all at once and, "Aye, the crew of the Crimson Sail!" And then he sort of nods, and that's more like it, lads. Well, who's drinking? And he hoists his tankard up.
The crew of the Crimson Sail, and I just raise my flag.
Now we're talking.
That be right.
We're talking.
And you know what? The next round is on Sonya. Let's hear 3 cheers to the captain. Yay, yay, and yay. And with that, he sort of raises his fist, and this huge pile of ales gets served up onto the table. And he'll gesture for everybody to come and take one. And William is holding a deck of cards, and he looks to each of you as you arrive and says, "Take a card, take a card. All of you take a card."
Okay.
Just roll me a
Alrighty
D100.
then, I'll
The
slide
lot
up
of you.
alongside and
Card
take
and
a
a
card.
nail.
Does anybody not
take-
take a card?
I'll take a card. I'll also take an ale, but I won't.
Oh.
I won't drink it. I'm just kind of.
I wish I had a camera on my dice.
100. Who's gonna get the 1?
I'll take a card.
The last 100 gave somebody an amulet of health. This ain't gonna do the same, I have to tell you.
Wow, you guys are Too close.
And then he sort of says, hold up your cards! Everybody hold up your cards, let's find out who the winner is. And as he sees you, Annika, holding the ace, he's sort of, you!
Ooh.
Annika, right?
Annika.
Annika. Annika!
Yeah, it's Annika.
It'll be whatever I say it is, lass.
Oh, excuse me.
Anyway, you. He hands you a dagger.
And what am I supposed to do with this?
And he sort of points, and all the way at the other end of the tavern is this huge sort of square board. And there's lots of different, like, pictures and bits of paper and, like, a red circle painted. And then right at the center is this sort of little gold circle that shines like a galleon. Go on!
Really?
Do it.
Aye, the
Throw
crew of the
it.
Crimson Sail, we take our games very seriously. And our ale.
Yeah.
And when a knife is given to you to throw, you throw it, ideally in the right direction. Otherwise you'll find that the next person thrown is you, by Bok, indeed. Come on now, lass. Dagger and be throwing.
I will throw the dagger to the best of my ability.
Make me a sleight of hand
Nice.
check.
Nice.
Ooh.
I believe in you.
Thank you. Dirty 20.
Okay.
Nice.
Great.
And as this dagger is right about to hit the board, very casually, with almost sort of no effort, Olive just reaches out and grabs it out of the air.
Wow.
Puts it down. Welcome. You'd be Annika, right?
Aye.
I've heard tale that you toss fire better than a dagger. Is that right?
Now this is very true.
Now this is pod racing.
A bolt of flame, I think, indeed. Perhaps you could demonstrate your abilities for the rest of us. I'm assuming you do have Firebolt as a fire draconic soul sorcerer.
Can you imagine?
She's like, no, I
like
didn't
a
take
ray
that.
of
I didn't
frost.
take that one.
Got Obi spells.
Yes.
Thunderclap.
If you would like indeed to, you may use your dirty 20 or what you roll on your Firebolt roll, depending on which is higher.
I will take the dirty 20.
And as this Firebolt sort of scorches on into the board, she sort of laughs and, excellent, the face of my predecessor. And you'll see that you've scorched the edge of a badly drawn picture of what looks like a woman with a fish in her mouth. And she'll invite everybody else now. Let the games commence. Now, William, you'll see that everybody is up to bed by midnight. Bright and early morning, even for the elves. We leave at the dawn.
Oh yeah, we don't.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we don't
It's
have
been a long time since I played an elf.
I like to imagine Percy saying that. Oh, yeah, we don't
He
sleep.
forgot. He trances.
We don't what? Sorry, I've missed. What have you not got?
I forgot that elves, that A, that I was playing one, and B, that they don't need to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, you still need your 4 hours, but it's
No,
random,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
But with the dawn, she will, you'll sort of know is about 4:15 a.m. at this particular time of year. So it's very early. But the rest of you may roll me a sleight of hand check.
Ooh.
And throw the dagger. Does anybody not participate in the dagger throw?
Do we have to throw a dagger?
As opposed to a
Damn.
dwarf?
No. I want to use my channel divinity to throw that instead.
No, that would cause a large hole in the wall.
It's just a lightning bolt.
Just a lightning bolt. Keep that to yourself.
Yeah, I
Save it
stand
for
by
the
what
right
I
moment.
said. Hell yeah. Alright.
We don't need
let's
to be
see.
destroying anything yet.
Catalina, as you
Can you
step
stop
up
showing off?
and
It's
take
doing
hold
the
of
thing where it rolls multiple times.
Yeah, as you step up and just Neptune's on it as well. But
Hell yeah.
Catalina, your
let's
first
go.
roll was a nat 20, is that right?
Up for a 28.
How does that look as you step up to take the dagger from the previous throw, which I believe was Neptune?
Would you just walk right up, take it? She'll look right at who's the one saying "Let's go games"? Woo! Who's saying that?
William McCanty. Mr.
she'll look-
Proud on his
she'll-
shoulder.
Alright, so she'll look at the dude she tried to slap, and she'll throw the dagger without looking while she's staring right at him, and it gets a straight bullseye.
Mm.
I like you. If you don't get
I
yourself
whisper to
killed,
Annika,
we'll get on well.
Are you getting like crazy sexual tension between them, or is that just me?
You just hear the parrot go, I am!
Truly.
Very loudly.
If that's not flirting, I don't know what is.
Hopefully there's private rooms on the ship.
That could be. Yeah,
Yeah, she's got the right eye down, Jesus.
I got a nat 1 right after Catalina's nat 20. So
Fantastic. You go over to take it, and there's a little puddle on the ground as you walk up from a little bit of ale that's been spilled. And as you go to throw it, your hooves just sort of slide forward slightly, and the dagger just thuds into the ground directly in front of you. And you just hear very quietly,
Whoops.
the fortune's not in your favor. As you turn, you'll see
Oh,
Kira
is that a
standing
cat?
right next to you.
Oh.
Oh, it's Kira.
I thought you were going to win.
That is exactly how
I
we talk.
appreciate your confidence. Well, what can I say? I'm a little bit of a klutz sometimes.
I think we could have a quiet word. I heard you tell a tale for the captain of the fortune of the future.
Something like that, yeah. I deal in fortunes, omens. Whoa, he got really quiet. What did
I
you
was
say?
wondering if you could tell mine.
Of course. What's on your mind?
I seek something lost.
Wow.
Is this journey the time at which I find it?
Oh, why don't we ask the cards? I'll draw a card for him. Oop. Six of Wands. I
Look
would
at you.
say...
The what of what's, sorry.
I think fortune favors you. This is a... Keep on the path you're going. I see success. I see victory in your future.
The path I was going, or the new path I chose today.
Your new
Yes.
path. You made the right choice. I'm Lux, by the way.
Thank you.
You were...
I'm Kira. I am
Nice to meet you.
the new lookout for Sonya. It is a good decision, I think. He sort of gives it a nod.
I can't help but agree.
Many years I kept Sea Dancer from being captured.
Oh.
Now it is seeming that I am the only member of the crew still alive.
That is a little awkward, yeah. I
Talk
hope
about
they weren't
irony.
your two, like, close friends or anything.
Never have I had friends. Only
Oh.
crewmates. But sometimes your crewmates are your family, even if they are not the friends you would choose.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, and
And I am happy for my
Hopeful.
gain.
that's a great way to look at it.
They say that she likes to put people in front of the boat and watch as they bleed to death. Your
I've
card
heard something
implies
similar.
that is unlikely to happen to me immediately. Is that right?
Exactly. I think things are looking up for you.
Who is the pretty woman? You know? And he nods towards Catalina.
Apparently her name's Catalina. But, you know, she seems a little mysterious. I can't get a read on her.
I am hoping that Mr. McCanty's interest in her is sincere. Perhaps he will take his eyes off my behind.
Oh. What, you don't think old Bill is equally handsome, not interested?
I'm not gay.
I'd rather have one with 2 legs.
Does he have a peg leg? That's so funny.
He does, peg leg parrot. Besides, don't you think that
good.
bird would talk a lot at the night?
Some people like to have, someone watching during. I can't say maybe that's his thing.
That is terrible. He sort of shakes his head. And, at this moment, as the drinks are flowing and the games are going, is anyone doing anything specific?
Not drinking.
I am drinking a ton. Every time I drink, I pour it from the tankard into my
Nice.
I will join Annika in drinking.
Yeah. We're turning
I'll
up.
be astonished at how much Annika's putting away.
I'm not drinking, and I don't participate in the games unless directly told to by superior.
Okay. So the girls
but
are
I
here
am-
to party.
Just to
I am-
clarify, Annika, are you using the tankard to keep yourself sober, or are you drinking from...
Yes.
Right, okay, cool. And Catalina, you are not.
Well, no, but she's not drinking heavy. Like if Annika, she's not drinking Annika's pace, but she's like with her.
Okay. You'll notice that the dwarves are putting back an absolutely immeasurable amount of ale. William McCanty is drinking heavily. Olive and Sonya seem to have disappeared somewhere. But
Sure.
nobody
where
is
they've gone.
drinking more heavily than Marilyn Cage. Now the captain of the Bloody Keel, celebrating her new moment. She's wearing a crown, and she's wearing what appears to be the sail of, or an old sail of the Crimson Sail, because what is now the Crimson Sail, the Sea Dancer.
Is
She's
that
sort
where
of
the
wrapped
sail
in
went?
it. And she's sort of swaying left to right. You can see her eyes are completely glazed over. And watching her very closely is Derek Gavain, who seems to have only had one drink or so. His eyes sort of glimmer in the firelight, but you will also notice that they're a slightly unnatural reddish color as he stares at her.
I don't
Is he
trust
staring it in a I'm here to protect this woman from embarrassing herself,
Yeah.
or a stalker kind of way?
Give me an insight
Like
check.
he's mad at her. He wants to kill her.
I'm just watching everyone as well, by the way.
You do
Ooh,
know
that's
that
a
he's
3.
the second mate on the new ship. So he would have been the other person, perhaps in contention for
Yikes.
becoming the captain of the original boat. He was the second mate on the old boat, and he's still the second mate on the new boat. Or, no, he's the third
so,
mate on the
like-
old boat. Sorry, third mate on the old boat, second mate on the new boat. So he has gone
Did you
up
tell
in
us-
a single promotion.
Did you tell us the second mate for Sonya yet, or no?
So on the new
Olive.
boat, Olive is first mate. Second mate is
First mate. First
Derek
mate was I
Gavain.
meant first mate.
So Olive is
Derek, you're
first
second.
mate. Derek
Okay.
second, and William third. And on the old boat, Marilyn was first mate, which is why she's become captain. And then Olive was second, and Derek was third. So two of them have had a single promotion. And William McCanty has obviously been promoted to member of the hierarchy. What was your insight check, Annika?
3.
Anybody else staring?
I got an
intently?
11.
Okay.
I'm
He
getting down with the
seems a
girls,
little
though.
protective.
Oh, okay.
But you're
I know
not
17.
sure. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, as you observe from across
Yeah,
the
you're not
room,
drinking.
So I'm watching everyone.
as you observe from across the room, he's watching her sort of not as intently as he's watching those getting close to her, making sure that nobody is got their hands on her inappropriately, that nobody is acting out of ways.
Like father figure type.
A little bit.
Bodyguard.
Yeah, bodyguard is closer, exactly.
Grandpa Joe.
And
Joe, he sucks.
with your 17, Percival, you can see that he's not particularly happy about what he's doing.
Oh.
You would gather that he's under orders to keep an eye on her.
Ooh.
Ah.
Interesting.
Which one is this? Do we have a name?
So
It's just a guy.
Derek,
Derek.
your
Oh
name?
my God.
The red eyes.
It's Derek who's watching.
Yeah,
Okay.
is and he does have those slightly odd red eyes, and he's sort of the more he's watching, the redder they're getting.
He needs some clear eye.
And walking around to each of you, Mathis Denworthy sort of comes up to each one of you one by one. It is not for me to tell you when you should rest, but it will be an early morning. These are your in-room keys. And he hands
Thank
you
you.
keys to the rooms upstairs.
I'll immediately go to bed.
Okay. They are tiny rooms that literally have a chamber pot, a bed. That is it. And there's like a tiny little gap down the edge.
So they're personal rooms.
Yeah, and there's lots of them. They're squeezed into this tavern. By the way, this is the Salty Sea Dog Tavern. I don't know if I told anybody the specific name.
You did not. I don't believe.
You said it at some point.
And as some of you
right at
party
the start.
and some of you sleep, we will take a short break. Be right back. Hello, hello, and welcome back to the second half of Miltern, Pirate Adventure. It's about 11:30, quarter to midnight.
Oh.
Who's
Bedtime.
creating a mess of the tavern? Who's ran off with somebody else's shorts? Who's gone to bed?
I'm gonna
doesn't
stay
know
up
where they
partying as long as the girls are. Catalina and Annika.
I think
Ladies?
the three of us just in a standoff of who's gonna go first.
We all come down 4 in the morning. You're still there.
Well, about quarter to midnight was when Mathis came round and suggested that each person went to get their rest.
Yeah, as soon as he said that, I left immediately.
Which gives you 4.5 hours sleep.
Ouchies. Okay. Well.
About midnight, I will just sort of sigh.
Yeah, you notice at midnight that all the dwarves go up, and most of the Crimson Sails crew. Percival, when did you head up?
Well, we're right by the port, right? We're right by the sea. Yeah. So I would actually like to go out for a while.
Okay, you step outside the tavern and very quickly will notice that you are being watched/followed.
Okay. That's fine, as long as it's not a video game invisible wall. Then I'm good. Since I feel that, as I'm walking towards the sea, I will try and see if I can like sneakily like catch a glimpse of who's tailing me.
Look around. Behind you, to the sides. Anyway.
That divination magic. Or invisibility,
What?
probably. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like, they're pirates, Josh.
Yeah. I don't care. Could not care less. I'm gonna head towards the sea, and then I am going to strip into my I'll just strip completely.
Wow.
No.
Oh la la.
and go in the sea. I just kind of wanna like go to like a secluded area, and just kind of like for a few moments, just kind of like keep myself afloat, and then very like seamlessly and very smoothly just allow myself to sink under.
You just hear, "Oh shit!"
It's the
That's all
dwarf,
you
isn't
hear.
it?
As you go underneath the water, you just hear, "Oh shit."
Yeah,
Yikes.
that's fine. Yeah, I just want to spend like maybe a couple of hours, just
Okay, you get down about 3 minutes, and then suddenly you feel a strong arm sort of underneath you. Can you see well underwater, in the sea?
I have dark vision.
Okay. And you have like the ability to breathe underwater, right? So the
I do.
okay.
Yes.
So you will see Derek Germain, but not quite himself. You will see that he has sort of his neck is thickened out, and you see the gill-like marks on his neck. You'll see his shoulders are sort of bulged out into thicker muscles. Give me an Arcana check.
What the fuck is this guy?
Is he a fishy blood hunter?
I
What?
think he's some kind of
That's a
What is this
14.
guy's deal?
experiment.
You've seen other people use Alter Self before.
Nice.
Ooh.
We're all just like, what the hell's going on?
Is he a fish?
It's all Come on,
Yeah.
we're not
Oh,
dumb.
just used a spell? What?
Yeah.
I forgot there's
Sorry.
magic.
Could I mean, I don't mind coming to the surface to talk to him, but can I at least like get him the fuck off me? Like, can I pull myself out of his grip?
He just sort of looks at you and... The captain said she wants to keep an eye on everyone. You thinking of changing mind, jumping ship before you've got on it?
Damn.
Bro, I just want to swim.
Come on, go on, hop on. Just stand there. Yeah, I'll like pop my head out of the water.
He's talking to underwater, so if you can do the
Oh,
same.
okay, cool. Yeah, then I'll just say to him, I'm not going anywhere. I am merely communing.
Arr, man of the sea. I see. Well, I do see, but I'd like to see a bit more. Or constantly, and preferably not in here. You won't mind if I just leave this here, do you? When he reaches into his pocket, he just puts an eyeball in the water in front of you.
Yikes.
Do what you wish.
It's like,
Sorry
I
to
don't
bother
want
you,
to be
lad.
here.
The parrot couldn't swim.
It
I
was
don't
the
say
parrot!
anything. I don't say anything
the
to him.
parrot!
Good night. He nods, and as he pushes past you, you will see that like he has a tentacle, sort of a large, thick tentacle, sort of writhing out of sort of where his hip.
Disgusting. Half-breed.
Josh is like,
Typical high elf.
He's
Yeah.
like, I prefer full breeds.
Yeah. So I just want to spend maybe like 3-4 hours, just kind of like obviously not letting myself drift
You're
off
taking
to
your
sea.
reverie in the sea.
If possible. I just
Fine.
want to stay underwater and kind of like. Obviously, I know I can't talk to my patron, but I just kind of want to feel like the cold water against me and like the darkness around me. I think it's his way of feeling in touch with his patron.
You're meditating.
Everyone else went to bed at midnight or earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have just been getting a little bit not sloshed, but a little bit merry. Just
That's right.
having a laugh, chugging a few tankards, and just enjoying my merriment, and then taking myself off to sleep at a reasonable hour.
Okay. It's about 3 a.m. and you're all fast asleep. And in your reverie, Mr. Evermore, you just hear, "Well, haul him up then." And then you just hear a very loud voice. "Are you awake?"
I very slowly open my eyes. What do I see?
You see, holding what looks to be a tree trunk of some sort, just sort of stirring around in the water near you. The eyeball that is floating in front of you has like lids closed over it. Yeah, I mean, you see that right up, sort of above the sea somewhere, somebody's holding that. He's shouted down to you, "Are you awake?"
I so desperately want to try something, but I just don't know how plausible it really is, or if it really matters.
Answer that question.
It's fine. I will come to the surface.
I told you it'd be an early morning, lad. Come on up, you come. Chop Chop is just staring over the edge of the boat at you. Breakfast for 32.
Yikes.
I'll go back underwater and then like start swimming towards the land.
Yeah.
And then I want to like. It's a little bit mermaid-like, but I'd like to swim upwards with like quite some force to try and like leap out the water.
Okay. Give me an athletics check.
Alright.
Okay.
Making love with other gay fish.
That's a 17.
It's not quite like, you don't clear the water in the air and do 3 somersaults in that.
No. Yeah. I'm not trying to do
You come up
that.
and sort of just plod down. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll get dressed.
Okay.
And yeah.
As you come out the water, actually, I've just realised you were naked. And you just hear the dwarf go, "Oh, fine, my eyes!"
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh, and I'll I mean, I don't know if this counts as cleaning. Oh wait, no, wait. Or chill or warm a cubic foot of non-living material. Yeah, so I'll dry off my clothes so
Yeah.
that they're not.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
Wait, did you
And
just leave him in the water?
No,
No, I
they're
left
not
them
wet
inside, but
from
my
the water on
body
his
is
body when he puts the clothes on.
Wet.
Oh, okay.
He didn't dry them before he put them on.
I thought you just like left it in the ocean.
And as you come up the
Your clothes didn't
gangplank,
get stolen.
as you come
Yeah,
up the
me too.
gangplank, Buck just yells out, "Name!
Nope.
What's me?
Name!"
Percival Evermore.
He thinks really long and hard, blocking the gangplank with the stick. You can see him like really concentrating. He screws over his face.
He's my favorite.
On board. And then he moves the thing out the way, and Chop Chop sort of looks over. "Or to get some meat on those bones if you're a chef, lad."
It appears you have. No, Ugh, Josh, stop being sassy.
Stop being a bitch, Josh.
Oh, jeez.
You're channeling Morrigan.
Oh my gosh, I am. I completely ignore that comment.
Would Percival have been sassy? Because Chop Chop seems like he's got a sense of humour.
That's a superiority, maybe.
He's the same guy you told him to keep his bodily fluids to himself.
Yeah, just because he was spitting on me.
He was spitting everywhere.
No, I will just
Ugh.
look down, and I will just ask, what is first to do.
Well,
I
before
was
the
going to say he's
idiots,
got enough meat on his bones for the both of us.
he does do that. And he would agree with you. Chop Chop sort of looks at you and, "Before the idiots come aboard, we should get breakfast cooked. Gonna be a nice hearty breakfast stew, I think."
Potatoes.
No, idiot. The reason why you don't
tell
cook.
There's just some random human shouting out a window, "Potatoes!"
That's that woman who got her door taken away last night.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, he will sort of lead you into the kitchen, and he'll gesture towards. So there's 2 paths to the kitchen. There's this sort of a galley counter, and then on the other side there's a secondary counter with like an oven behind it, with like a chimney that goes out the ship. It looks like it's magically fired some way, because you don't see anywhere to put coals or anything. I've got hiccups.
Oh no.
And then there's a secondary sort of section behind that, which looks a bit like a stove. And placed there is this large sort of cauldron, which it looks like he's going to cook the stew in. I'll get started on some herbs and get some stock going. I think we've got some lean pork, a bit of salty meat for them. If you want to get chopping the vegetables, I'd appreciate.
Yeah, I'll go over to the vegetable station, and
You can see there's just a bunch of stuff laid out on the top with a chopping.
Yep.
No knives,
I'll-
no cleavers, no nothing.
No, that's fine. I will take out of my satchel my own chef's knives, and instruments and tools. What?
Like a drumstick comes out.
What vegetables are on the side, and what would go? I mean, I think Percival would know, but I don't know. What kind of vegetables would go best for what he wants to cook?
So it looks like he's laid out all the things he wants chopped.
Oh, okay, so it's just everything.
Yeah, so he's laid out
Okay,
like
that's
leek,
fine.
cabbage, turnips, carrots,
Yep.
and onions.
Yep. So I'll just start. I mean, Percival's like a trained chef, so he will, chop away.
Chop, chop, kill, bassa.
No.
And as you do this, you just sort of see him grab his cleaver. And he's got like he reaches over to what looks like almost like a saddle bag. It's like a shoulder bag. It just looks like it's made of regular cloth. He lifts up the flap, reaches in, and pulls out a loin of pork. And just sort of slaps it down on the side. And it's quite a big line of pork. It looks like it must have filled up the whole bag. He sort of slaps it down with this wet thwack. Then he takes the cleaver. And he only has one cleaver, but when he takes his cleaver, there's still a cleaver in his belt. It's like, it was almost like an optical illusion. Like, he took the cleaver, but the cleaver was still there. And then he begins sort of chopping. And he makes so much noise while he's chopping. And he begins to sort of hum to himself some sort of little tune. And you don't get much of it. But you do hear the words chop, chop regularly at the beginning of lots of verses. And then lots of other things. There's a few dwarven words smattered about, a lot of cursing. Something about the fire, the flames, don't play games, something, something. Dwarf, cauldron. And then he just keeps on chopping away. And he sort of looks up at you a few times. Give me an insight check.
Sure. That is a 19.
Yeah. Each time he looks up at you, you see like he's sort of almost checking to see if you've done something wrong. But doesn't say anything because maybe he feels you haven't done anything wrong, or maybe he's just tired, or maybe he has no idea what you're doing. You're not really sure.
After the second time he does that, I will say, without looking in his direction at all and without stopping, can I help you with something?
You already are, lad. Very neat and tidy, you, aren't you?
Am I? Are these good enough for your food, or would you prefer them cut julienne?
Who, what? No, I don't think so. My last sous chef, he liked cutting up people. And sometimes cut up some vegetables. It looks like you cut up vegetables a lot, and sometimes people. Your skills are pleasing. You'll note later that the help's not all talented.
I don't need any help.
You'd rather deliver the food to yourself, would you? All 32 bowls to all the different people on the ship. Trust me, we need the help. As difficult as they are.
Chef, not a waiter.
Exactly. That's why we've got the others coming. Speaking of the others, they'll be waking the crew about now. And the rest of you, in your nice little peaceful tavern. It's all quiet and gentle. Most of you are asleep. You can vaguely hear the sounds of some revelry still going on downstairs. But most of you, I'm assuming, are asleep at the time. And then you just hear what sounds like somebody hitting 2 frying pans together, back to back. It makes a mixture of a sound of a clap and a clang.
No.
And then there's multiple of these coming down the corridor. And you just hear a rambunctious yelling of, time to sail, time to sail, time to sail, time to sail. Come on, it's time to sail, time to sail. Aye, the crew of the Crimson Sail. Time to sail, Crimson Sail, we're to sail. Come on, everybody, time for morning. Did you sleep? You shouldn't have slept. Far more fun if you just got drunk. And there's these dwarves that are running down, just banging frying pans together. Or so it sounds like.
Yeah. I shouldn't have slept.
I will be up and out the door immediately.
As you open the door, you see that there are 2 dwarfs, both back to back on the sides of the corridor, wearing helmets with that look a bit like saucepans. They're sort of big, like bowl-like helmets. And one of them has bells attached to it, and the other one, his helmet is quite flat. And as they're shouting, they're clashing their heads together over and over again, and then whacking shield to shield, and then helmet, and then shield, and then helmet and shield. And standing a little way away, on top of what looks like an upturned beer barrel, is the 3rd dwarf. So it is Nori and Ori who are clashing heads together. And standing a little way away, the thinner dwarf is the one who's sort of doing the shout. He's standing on top of an upturned beer barrel, and he's shouting through a tankard that had the bottom bashed out. Aye, the crew of the Crimson Sail, time to sail, time to wake, drink the ale, time to wake, time to wake, time to bake! Who be baking? We be baking bread with breakfast, come on out you come! And he just keeps on shouting. And baking is happening on the ship, it should be mentioned. You will note...
Thought he was lying.
you will note, Percival, that he has put in some hard ship's bread, which will be sort of served to the side of the stew.
Good morning.
The dwarf sort of looks at you and, is! Good morning, good night, good day for revelry, time to sail, Crimson Sail, time for ale! He carries on and on and on.
He's loud.
He's very drunk.
As I come stumbling out from my room, I've just barely managed to hobble myself together and get dressed in casual dockhand sort of clothes. I'm stumbling down and I'm just yelling out, "What's with all the racket?" Bit unnecessary.
Time for racket, let's unpack it, find it out, what's going on? Time for ale, we be drunk, Crimson Sail, let's all go. If we're not loud, you don't wake, time to go, time to bake, Crimson Sail, time for ale. He just carries on
Did
and
they
on
practice
and on.
this?
No.
I just take my head sighing, feeling exhausted at his yelling, and I just exclaim, "How the hell are you so chipper of a morning? How do you do it?"
Not the morning, 'tis the night, keep on drinking, don't have to be sleeping. And as he says this,
is it 4 in the morning?
4:15, and as he says this,
It's
a
morning.
tomato is
It's
just
nice
launched
still.
at your forehead from the
Oh my
other side
God.
of the ship. The other side of the corridor. Give me a dex save, Athrun.
Dex save.
My God.
That's a 16.
Yeah, it comes straight at your forehead and you just duck to the side and it hits the wall behind him. And you see Rory sort of stood there and, quick now, don't want to be missed now. Come on.
Yikes.
And you see he's got a whole bucket of fruit next to him, ready to throw at people if they're being too lazy or too slow.
What a waste.
I just shake my head. Some people can't handle it.
Alright.
Why isn't that part of
Wait,
breakfast?
you chuck a
It's
tomato at me?
tomatoes.
As you say that, Ori looks to you and, I can handle it, all the ale you give me, handle it I will. I'll handle my ale, handle your ale, handle his ale, handle her ale.
Give me your ale and I'll be happy.
You can't handle shit. He says, he looks at you and you look a bit of a state. Rory picks up another tomato, but the rest of you can file on out. As you go down the
As I go
stairs...
past him, want to take the tomato out of his hands and just bite straight into it.
Oh no.
It's not
Athrun,
good.
that's gross.
It's
Why?
really not good. As you're
do
coming
that?
down the stairs, you'll see Mattis Dunworthy with a sort of a scroll peeled down, and he just seems to be ticking people off as they come down. Sat at a table a little way over are William and Derek. Sonya and Oliver nowhere to be seen.
Oh my God. His name is Willian, not
Yes.
William.
Yes, William McCanty.
Morning, Manthus.
Okay. And I'm changing the notes.
Is it a good morning? I don't know yet.
Manthus.
Mathis. But don't worry, I will put a cast list, which is... Oh, you've been doing it. I will make it so it links to the handouts. I'm very proud of my new ability to do this.
Oh, cool.
It'll look huge each week. Anyway, as you all file out, head down to the ship, you notice there's a bit of a hold-up. The ship. And standing at the front of the gangplank are 6 drow. And they're being sort of held away with a long piece of wood by Bok.
What's going on here?
Do you say that as you get there?
Yeah, are they like, we gathered around? Yeah. What's
Bok sort
going
of
on?
yells out, long name. Can't remember.
Ah.
I also move forward with Lux.
Yeah, I'll be flanking on the other side.
Name!
Girl squad.
He yells out.
Is he talking to us or the drow?
You have no idea. He just shouts in general at the shore.
Hi, Buck.
Neptune!
Oh,
He nods.
okay. So he does know
Annika.
someone.
Oh, why did they give me this job? I've been awake all night and I can't read. And you see he's got a big list next to him.
Okay, so he does have a list.
He has
I
a
thought
list
this
next to
was
him, but he
all
just can't
from-
read it.
I thought this was all from memory. Okay, that's better.
It's okay, Buck.
Neptune, can you read?
I can read.
Wow.
Wow.
And then he sort of like pushes all 6 drow with his stick out the way. And they look furious. And then he makes a space for you, Neptune, to come up.
Oh,
You just,
thank
as you
you.
walk past, you just hear, "Idiot giant, I can read too. I would have read the names for him. Stupid
Hey,
fool."
don't be mean to him.
Just gives you a really angry look.
Well, so Neptune, you're checking us in now?
I trust Neptune.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you. And I guess, yeah, I will help.
Right.
The first drow steps up quite sort of confidently. Ardulase Bellabrina.
I'll also just like do a double take, like, and then check the list.
You scroll down and you see some you see lots of names. No name that resembles that at all. And right at the bottom it says the Night Watch, bracket 6 drow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys are okay, I'm assuming. Listen, your names aren't on here, alright? All I have is 6 drow.
And why are you letting... Then our names are on there.
I look at the list and I'm like, pretty sure that your name is not 6
Are
drow.
we or are we not 6 drow? Don't get
I
specific.
literally just said
Can I,
you could
can
come
I
on the ship.
interfere? Can I like walk up and interfere?
Yeah, you're just behind them as you sort of wander up.
I'm gonna walk up and look at the drow and give them like a nod, like a knowing nod. They look friendly back to me.
A few of them sort of give you a little curt greeting, but the woman at the back sort of, she's got this long white hair and beautiful sort of dark red eyes that glow, and she sort of turns to you. We have been waiting for 3 hours. We were meant to prep the ship so that it was ready in the morning. This idiot
There's 6 of them.
keeping us from getting aboard. Yes, 1 woman, 5 men.
I'm just gonna
Waited
turn
that
to
long?
Neptune and Bog and say, "They're good."
I literally said they were good.
You did say that.
They walk
already.
up. They walk up the gangplank.
She heard you say that, but there was
immediately
contention
lift up the
there.
hatch and go down.
Uh,
As you
Alright.
step
That
up, who's up next?
I'll go
sounds
up.
like
Name.
Annika.
It's on the list.
He sort of lets you up and then puts the stick in front of the next person. Name.
Catalina.
God
It's on the
hear
list.
you. Oh, okay. And then he moves the stick out the way.
As she walks on the ship, she's looking around at all the crazy people. She's just gonna just look out, sigh, and just say, "Please, Umberly, guide me," and then walk onto the ship.
oh, okay.
Is she lost?
I'm not sure myself.
Name. He shouts to the next person down there.
Lux.
Yeah.
Just 3 letters.
Got that one. He doesn't wait for
Nice.
Neptune. He remembers Lux.
Good job, Buck.
Oh. How many letters is Bach? Right on, brother. Yeah. I will give him a fist bump.
He reaches right down. He's like crouches down and just goes. You can see him moving it really slowly because he doesn't want to hurt you.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous
Just get-
actually.
Luck just gets
It's close.
launched off the ship.
That's my fear.
Yeah.
All right.
As you sort of walk up, he just sort of says to you, Neptune, like her.
Yeah.
Name.
Seems good.
He sort of charges out the next person. But you can all get aboard.
Yep, I just rolled up and just to call that. Hey Neptune, we good?
Yeah,
Uh,
he's
yeah.
on the list. I remember him.
And
Yeah,
then
that's
6 dwarves come up one by one. And when he says name, they all say their names at the same time, which is really annoying.
I got 2 of them.
Which
one at a
ones?
time.
Right.
Brian and I think Rory.
They sort of raise their hands and they sort of scramble past each other, and they're all trying to push up the gangplank at once. And I'm Nori, I'm Ari, I'm Rory, and then Brian just falls off the edge of the gangplank and into the water.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. I think they're good though.
Not Brian.
As you say that, Brian sort of puts his little head up above the water. Not good.
Oh, we should help him.
Okay. And Box sort of reaches down with the stick and sort of shoves it under Brian, and then just flips him onto the deck, where Brian just sort of lands wet and flopping.
Good.
Are you okay?
Brian!
All right.
Gives you a big smile.
He's good.
What a
I'll
nice
give
young
his
man.
thumbs up to Book.
And then they sort of they all run in different directions. Kitchen! And then after a moment, you will see Mathis Denworthy come up in the company of William McCanty and Derek Gervais. And as the three of them step up, the box sort of moves his thing back and, I did it. Did we get everyone? He looks to you, Neptune, and there's only one name on the list not fulfilled, and that's Kira.
We're missing Kira.
Say, that damn tiefling's trying to get away again. I'll find him. And William McCanty keeps walking up the gangplank, but the bird flies off.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good job.
Percival. It's getting a little hectic, it's getting a little warm. The stew is being stirred, you're no longer chopping vegetables, they're all in with the cooking. And as you lean over, it smells like a damn good stew, to be honest, despite his slight uncouth ways. He tasted a couple of times, and then he hands you a spoon. And you don't want to taste it, lad?
Of all the times for not to have Sally's spoon. Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Because it has holes in it so that she doesn't get poisoned.
Classic.
Anyways, yeah, I will very attentively take a very small sip of a spoon full.
It's alright. It's not bad. It's a bit basic, but...
Do I think it needs anything that we have in
Your
terms of,
cooking
like... Yes, I have those.
Did I not give you that?
No.
Make a potatoes check, Josh.
No, damn potatoes!
Refresh, and it should be available to you.
Refresh.
Rich.
Ah. Love. That is a 21.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, you sort of assess it, and the things it needs are not things that it would standardly be stocked by ship, so it's okay, but it could really use like some interesting spices.
Is there anything that I have on my person that I took from?
On your Percy?
You take anything interesting?
Well, I mean, I haven't put it literally by inventory, but I did take some things from my home before I left, and I was a chef there.
I think even then it would be sort of like you'd have basics. You'd have like parsley, coriander, pepper, salt.
Yeah, if it's
You
something
don't
that...
yeah, it tastes like it could really use like
That's
something
fine.
really interesting, but it's tolerable.
Yep.
And he gives you a wink and don't worry, lad,
Yeah,
it's
that-
not what we'll be eating.
Excuse me.
Racist.
We've got proper breakfast. But
Secret
don't-
meals.
Shh. Wait for the dwarves. And as he says this, slamming into the room, are 5 dwarves. Ori, Nori, Cory, Rory, and Brian.
Mm-hmm.
What about Blitzen, Dixon, and Rudolph?
Donald
They're
and
off.
Cupid.
And as they come in, Chop Chop sort of looks over and... There's the other one. They all sort of immediately sort of form a little circle and look to the middle. at each other and... Hurry!
Oh
Oh,
no.
we left him in the room! And they charge on out, and as they go to open the door, Laurie comes in, and there's this sort of moment where one of them just takes a door to the forehead. Laurie just sort of comes by, and he's holding a massive stack of wooden bowls. And they just tumble all over the floor.
Oh
Chop sort of slams his hand on the edge of the counter, and throws a cleaver straight at Laurie's head. And it sort of
dies on the
skims the
spot.
edge of his hair, and just launches into the wall and quivers there. Have you just dropped the bowls? Useless, the lot of you. Sort these out! And he looks to you, Percival.
The bulls or the dwarves?
Too early for mutiny.
Ambiguous.
Yeah, I know, right?
With
So
that, Chop literally enters into what looks like a tiny store cupboard and shuts the door behind him.
Okay. I think at this moment, seeing Chop, my God, seeing Chop, kind of be this dominating presence.
Like it.
I think I.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. Carry on as you are.
Shut up. I think Percy kind of like has a different take on him as a person. The bowls or the dwarves to deal with.
6 dwarves, huge stack of bowls on the floor. What are you doing?
And the food still needs taking out, right?
The food's in the cauldron, waiting to be served into the bowls. Yes.
Oh, I see.
The 5 dwarves are sort of looking at the bowls, totally confused, and Brian is just stood right in front of you, looking up with a huge smile on his face. Just...
We love him.
What a sweetheart. We do stand.
I love this crew.
Well, I will
You're the
just.
chef. Good morning.
I think. I will take one of my chef knives.
Uh-oh.
And I will walk. I'll walk towards the closet that the one dwarf has shut themselves in.
Chop's going into, yeah.
Oh, Chop went in.
Yeah, Chop went into the storage cupboard to leave you to deal with these dwarves.
Oh, sorry. I thought
He
one of
left
them
the situation.
got scared and
Yeah,
ran.
he's
Sorry.
just- No, he's just putting it in your hand.
In that case, I take the chef knife, slam it down on the table, and
Brian
like,
ducks.
pick those bowls up now,
Give me an animal handling check.
What?
you dogs!
Dogs.
Oh, beautiful.
Don't taste
I've been
say
waiting
dogs.
for you for the first command for the dwarves for quite a while. What's going on with this?
That 20.
Beautiful. And Brian sort of turns around and sort of looks a little hesitant. And then Laurie, Nori, Ori, Rory, and Corey all begin to say, "Get in line, keep in time. Get in line, keep in time." And the bowls start like shuffling up, and they're just chucking them into Brian's hands, and the pile's getting higher and higher and higher and higher. He can't see anymore. His hands are quivering a little bit. He's getting lower. The bowls start moving left and right. And then you just see his little face like peeking out the side with this huge grin on it. As the bowls go out the side, and then suddenly, like, Laurie stands on Nori and Rory stands on Ori, so they're both sides of the bowls, and they sort of hold them in place. And then they chuck one down, and Corey will take the bowl and put it in front of you, waiting for you to fill it up.
Look at
I
that
will do
coordination.
so.
And as you do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 go down the side. Laurie, Nori, and Ori will jump down and take 2 bowls each and head on out. And the process continues.
Perfect.
And you may serve up the 32 bowls of soup. And the
I
store
will
cupboard,
whip the singing out of them eventually.
the store cupboard sort of opens, and you just hear Chop go, "Don't serve it to the captain." And the dwarves sort of turn back and okay. And they go out and serve everybody else. Everybody else, you may... Well, we'll see.
Oh.
How good is the...
Looks bad.
Oh,
Oh,
Great.
oh boy.
Unfortunately, the dropped bowls contain little bits of dust.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't need a disease.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
good.
not to mention, like, quite a few of were drinking last night. There's a little bit of queasiness going
Oh,
on.
yeah. I'm
It's
hungover.
just not the best breakfast you've ever
Yeah.
had, and quite a few of you are probably used to something a bit better. And why isn't this sound playing? Can you guys hear
Oh
stuff?
God. I hear
I hear some
boat
creaking.
sounds.
Okay,
No.
good.
Yeah,
That's
creaking.
lovely. I'm glad you hear creaking and boat sounds. I don't. This is the bit
I
where I
hear
see
nothing.
everybody
I'll
disappearing.
refresh.
Yeah, everybody has disappeared simultaneously, apart from those who have sound, I think.
Looks
But
like
yeah,
it's just me and Jamal.
as breakfast gets delivered to you, Atherin, you'll be shown to Farax's quarters.
Well, before that, as soon as I start tucking into my bowl, I
No, this is
quickly
before the
hurl over
breakfast
the side of
arrives.
the ship.
This is before
Oh,
breakfast
never mind.
arrives.
Never mind.
You would have been shown up to Farax's quarters very briefly, and told to report there after lunch, and then sent below decks to secure your berth. Neptune, Mathis will have come and found you and showed you. I mean, you were shown around the ship last night, but he doesn't know that. So he just shows you that there's a carpenter's quarters, and he's left a little bit of the side of one of the tables. There's just like this little tiny workspace that he's sort of cleared for Annika. Annika, he will show you that little corner. Down there, William McCanty will be telling everybody that sort of to secure their berth in the long bit of below decks. And you'll see that there's some pegs that have been secured sort of into the below decks area with little holes through them. And it might not make any sense at first, but you'll see that the drow have gone right to the end of the boat, right to the back of the boat, under decks, and have used two of these pegs to sort of tie a piece of cloth in or a piece of sail in to sort of give themselves like a private room, effectively. And it's expected that you might also take a bit of sail or whatever to give yourself some privacy and some space. But it's pretty cramped below here.
Wait, are the quarters like just a workshop or like quarters?
No. So below decks, there's like a large amount of space, which is just empty space, which is for you guys to bunk up in and hang your hammocks
hammock.
and put any cloth between the pegs if you want to try and give yourself some space. Then in the middle, there's a little tiny workshop, and opposite that is sort of a chambers, if you will, that is completely closed off. And then further down, there's a doored off bit to the front half of the boat, which you can't get into. You haven't tried, but it's a closed door. And you will notice that William and our friend Derek both come down and go in and check those areas and come back out. That's obviously their quarters and potentially Mathis's as well. Atherin, you will have noticed there's a little tiny hammock for a tiny gnome in Farax's workshop, but it's a glorified broom cupboard that he's in. It is tiny. It's not really a room. It's just a little tiny single desk and a hammock over the top. And then there is the captain's quarters, which are above deck in a single block. As you're each securing a berth, is anybody doing anything specific?
I put my tools on the workshop.
Mhm.
Sort of like leave them there and
Yeah, as expected.
pull out the project I was working on, just leave it there and just go to hang up my hammock.
Okay.
I'll be gathering up my things, and as soon as I set everything around my hammock, I'll start gathering up my equipment and putting that in a separate little sack ready to go, so I can take that up with me when I head up to the workshop.
Yeah. Michaela?
I just wanted to ask what Catalina looks like today, and if we're going to address that, or does she look the same as yesterday?
She looks the same. She's been in her changeling form.
Oh, okay, your neutral form.
As far as everyone else is concerned, it's her normal form.
Okay, just making sure.
I heard he did change.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, we just got on the ship. Sure, I'll set up a little area. Actually, I want to talk to the girls, Catalina and Annika, and say, hey, do you guys want to like set up a little area of our own? You know, some privacy.
From men? Absolutely.
Please.
Okay. Yeah, and we could just put some sheets around that kind of general area.
If you're looking, unless you brought them on board with you, you'll need to find some sheets.
Oh, okay, then let's go on a
And you do see
scavenger
Mathis
hunt.
sort of standing around, looking like he's ready to help with anything that might be curious about.
Mathis!
Please don't steal the sails.
He looks over and... Yes.
Would you be a dear? We could use, you know,
Would you be
we
a
just
dear
wanted to
if
set
offered
up-
the option.
always. Anytime.
Is that better than goat?
I don't mind being compared to a goat. Goat's a very noble creature.
But a deer.
No, yeah, deer's a little fragile, I guess. Anyways,
You wanted something.
that's a sheep. That's something else, Catalina. Some kind of maybe fabric, sheet, something to just give
Spare
us
sails.
a little spare sails. Yeah.
Please
Give
don't
us a
take
little
the
privacy.
sails.
So he'll
You
sort
want-
of open the door
You
behind him.
want them?
And he goes over to the side and he reaches into what looks like a tiny little cupboard and pulls out like a 12-foot sail. Just sort of reels it out bit by bit. So pulls it. It must have like been folded up and then go up above decks. Either that or it's extra dimensional.
Wow.
I would assume not. So it
Probably
looks
not.
like it must go like up the wall, and he starts like folding them out. And he's like, gives you this tiny little, very sharp looking. It looks almost like a needle, but with it's sort of on a roller, so you can just like roll it down and it'll cut with it. And I think
we can cut to length.
Annika and Catalina.
You guys, yeah, you're
Both of
probably
you
more.
might have seen this before. It's a sail cut, but it's also used for some for cutting material in other places as well. But definitely, Annika, you would have seen this on a ship. So you can cut the right shaped piece. And he just sort of looks at you and try not to use too much. We do have a few, but they aren't.
Right, of course. We'll be frugal. Thank you.
Do you remember last night when I asked you if you needed anything
Of course.
special?
Remember
for
how
the
you
boat?
didn't say that.
And he sort of
What'd he
doesn't. He
say?
doesn't say anything more. He just says, "Remember last night I asked you if you needed anything specific."
Uh-huh.
He just nods and then goes back to waiting around, seeing if anybody needs anything. And that's when breakfast arrives, and dwarves come running in and just handing people bowls. They don't say anything. There are no spoons. They just hand you bowls.
Ugh.
Thank you.
They nod but say nothing. And then you just hear,
Wow.
Mr. Drow! Mr. Drow! And then the cloth sort of pulls back a little bit, and a very angry-looking drow sort of confronts one of the dwarves. What? We brought breakfast! Drow sort of looks at him. It is time for us to sleep. Take your slop away. Anybody want extra?
I'll
I will
take
have
it.
taken a sip, and then I'll be shaking my head at Neptune, going, no, you don't.
More for
I'll,
us!
I'll take the extra one still.
Okay.
I feel bad sending
Oh
one
yeah, you're
back.
immune to disease.
Yeah.
But yeah, Percival, as the last bowls go out, Sonya, there's a knock on the galley door, and Chop Chop sort of, I come in, and Sonya and Olive enter and look over and, so, breakfast. Want to come upstairs? You too, if you'd like. Percival. Chop Chop, can you serve to the captain's quarters? Chop Chop sort of nods and gives you a little, sort of leans into you a little bit, Percival, and says, "You go up, lad, you've earned it."
I won't reply, I will just follow them up.
Okay. You head into the captain's quarters. They're fairly well appointed. It's quite a large room. You notice there must be some sort of bedchamber or something off with a second door through to it. But in this area, there's a large desk, and then there's a sort of half-round table attached to the side of the ship, with 4 chairs laid around it, sat around it. Olive and Sonya take 2, and gesture for you to take one of the other 2.
Yep.
And way
I'll do
too
so.
quick for it to be physically possible. Chop Chop comes to the door, and he's holding 3 plates in one hand and one in the other. And you can see sausages, egg, bacon, sort of
I
bread,
chose the
hash browns.
correct ship job.
And and he sort of puts a plate in front of those 2, and then puts a plate in front of you and the empty space, and he sort of stands behind the chair. You can see that he's been incredibly disrespectful to everyone he's met, but he waits for Sonya to tell him to sit down, and she sort of, go on. Yeah. So, how was your first morning?
It was tolerable.
That's better than awful. little smile on her face. What was difficult?
Just to note, this whole time, Percival isn't touching the food until she does.
They're tucking in. They're well into
Okay,
it. Like,
then I
mouthful
will
of sausage,
begin.
mouthful, like they're alternating.
Yeah.
Olive and
I'll begin eating too, but very like, what's the word? Methodical, I guess is the word. He's just very like, he's not like.
no, and you notice that they do seem to have some manners.
Yeah.
Chop Chop, however, is literally just, he's got a piece of bread and he's scooping like egg and
He's picked up the plate. He's like,
and it's just like sort of pulling, like shoveling something. He's left the knife and fork exactly.
Yeah, he's turned the pancake into
Like
a funnel, and he's just
exactly.
pouring.
That's pretty much how it's going on.
Yeah,
he says nothing, and you can just hear contented dwarven noises coming from.
Yes. I'll just say. I expect the other dwarves will be correctly trained in time.
No, I doubt it. Chop Chop.
I do not
How long have
laugh.
the dwarves been with you? Chop Chop said, well, I think it's about 30 years now. Still useless.
Good God.
Sort of, it's unlikely they will ever be up to much. But they fit in. And their real job has nothing to do with food or any ship duties, really.
I don't say anything, just expecting her to fill me in.
Olive sort of, they're the boarding crew. First on. And as yet, they have taken 2 serious injuries. 27 now. Successful raids. They're well worth keeping around. Even if their culinary skills are lacking, but that's why we brought you in. Is it just the dwarves causing you problems? Olive has another little sweet smile on her face.
Who's that?
Olive
Olive.
Wurzel, the first.
Olive. Yeah.
Sonya is not smiling. She's quite straight-faced. She's enjoying her food. She doesn't say
She
much.
hates you.
Well, yeah. No, nothing as of yet.
Good. Sonya sort of looks over to you, and if you want them properly trained and you don't think Chop Chop is capable, you could always try yourself.
I'm
Initiative
aware.
is valued on my ship.
I wasn't suggesting anyone else.
Good. An extra duty for you today, if you don't mind. It's only something small. Chop Chop won't be available for producing lunch, so you'll be on your own. Galley. Cold food's fine.
What?
Chop Chop won't
Whole
be available.
food?
Cold food is fine.
Oh, cold food.
Whole Foods, like the marketplace?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, yeah, can I go grocery shopping
I'm
first?
sure he'll show you where their stores are.
Their prices are outrageous.
As long as I'm not paying. Very well. I will see it done.
There's going to be a initiation of sorts. Probably in the time at which you're making lunch. So we'll be asking
Would you like
something a little different of you at some point. Not sure what yet. I think you would have passed this initiation with flying colors. Empathy doesn't seem your forte. When she says that, you do get the impression that that was a compliment.
Oh yeah, he took it. I mean, I don't think he took it as a compliment, but he understands that she was meaning it as a compliment.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares about compliments.
Mm-hmm.
But he will looking over. By the way, how does this food taste? Is it good, flavorful?
It is excellent.
Nice.
It's not a nat 1.
No,
No,
it's
indeed.
really excellent.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it possible to do this initiation now?
Yeah.
Very well. What are we drinking, by the way? Orange juice? Keep the scurvy away?
nothing supplied. You will note that all 3 of them drink from either hip flasks or water skins they have it there. have them.
Oh, okay, I'll take from my water skin then.
Yeah.
My water skin is orange juice to keep the scurvy away.
Orange juice.
That's gonna go bad real quick.
Freshly squeezed every
It
morning.
It ain't. You haven't been to the spice house in the last week or two, so
Ah,
you don't have
fine.
any orange
No
juice.
oranges. It's just
no, indeed.
water.
Perhaps that's something you could arrange for the ship to set up.
Sure. But yeah, I will just if they no longer speak to me, then I will just eat in silence. Really not giving away any like sign of how I'm feeling or anything like that. But I am internally enjoying the food for what it is. As someone who grew up, from a fishing town, it's nice to have different. It's nice to have different meats and things.
It's nice to not
you
eat
will hear
fish.
their
Yeah,
conversation. They
exactly.
make no aim to hide the conversation from you.
Yeah.
And they're discussing Kira's absence and saying that they'll only wait the hour. It's unsurprising that he has he's a little unsure. They're very unimpressed with Derek for not keeping an eye on him.
There's a reason he didn't get promoted all the way.
Derek should have made sure that Kira stayed within his watch, and he's lost track of it. So they're very angry.
Yes. Oh yeah, this whole I mean Percy, this is the best place for him to be. He's just like soaking in all this information.
Spill the tea.
And Sonya sort of says, I don't
Wow.
I'm not really sure what an appropriate punishment would be for Derek. He should have kept a watch on him, and Chop Chop's in a mouthful of sausages going, just kill him! Just carries on eating, nothing more said. But as that is all going on upstairs,
Yes.
ladies, Monica, Catalina, and Lux, you've secured yourself a little separate area. What are you up to?
Alright. Ladies.
Great talk.
If I just
I was waiting for you guys.
setting up my spot on the boat.
Yeah, I've pulled out a blanket as well that I've hung up to have a separate area that can be, easily openable.
Nice.
But that's right. I grabbed a blanket. I'm that prepared.
I should have checked.
I also have a blanket.
Yeah.
I do too. Wow, look at that.
Ladies and blankets.
We're having a slumber party. Actually, have we left? We haven't left yet, right? We're waiting.
No, we're waiting for Kira.
I kind of wanted to look for him. I don't know. I
You
gave
can
him
do.
some.
Like, you've only
Yeah,
been on the
I
ship for like
think-
15 minutes or so.
Oh, okay, great. Then yeah, I'll just say, hey, I'm gonna go look for someone, and then I just leave. Cause I don't know. I gave him some advice yesterday, and now I feel
Mysterious.
responsible.
Annika and Catalina, you're left at the table.
Anywhere where the dwarves aren't is where you will be finding me. Anytime on the ship.
That's fair. Rambunctious lot, aren't they?
Although, we might be able to. I'm gonna pull out a pair of dice. So we might be able to get some money out of them.
There is a gleam in her eye.
And I'm gonna show Annika a specific dice. I have a charlatan's die, where I can specifically choose what number rolls. So
Dang.
we will make a lot of money.
You're sneaky. I like it.
Don't ask what that was. I have no idea.
What'd you say?
I said, don't ask what that noise was. I don't know either. I just kind
I
of
thought it was like dramatic gambling music. I was
no
like,
Are you
idea.
the Flying Dutchman?
I pressed play on this track and it just made a noise and then it started. I was like, fair enough. But yeah, as the two of you mentioned this, you sort of hear a little, excuse me.
Yes. Who is it?
Hi. It's a drow.
oh,
It's a drow. Oh,
One of those
hello.
fucks.
Beautiful long white flowing hair and dark red eyes. And he will sort of look at you and Gvillis at your service.
Catalina.
You mentioned the dwarves are a little loud.
Yeah, and annoying, and rambunctious, and getting on my last nerve, and it's been 20 minutes.
So you won't be opposed to us ensuring some quiet down here for a while?
I will look the other way. I would appreciate that.
And with that, he goes and starts casting a spell.
Oh,
And he's casting a spell on the hatch to the above ship. And
Can
you
I
see,
watch
like,
him just examine what he's doing?
Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
I thought they were going to kill the door.
I thought so too. I was like, are we about to kill one of the dwarves?
This is the
All of the
initiation.
All of the dwarves.
16.
Yeah, you see these sort of like translucent blue dome forming from there downwards. And you'd recognize this is a dome of silence.
Nice.
But he's casting it on some sort of unusual looking crystal, which he's fixed to the underside of the hatch, and you think this might mean it lasts longer, or he doesn't have to concentrate on it, something like that. And it goes a little quiet, and the sound begins to be a bit muffled from above decks. And the drow sort of turns to you and gives you a sort of very flourishing bow, and we go to sleep.
Quick question.
Indeed.
Where in Miltern are you all from?
James is like looking through his notes.
No.
Sorry.
He sort of turns to you and he gives you a very stern look.
Uh-oh.
The sea is our home.
Let's see.
At least, it is now. Perhaps in time we'll tell tales of our homelands. And as he nods, you see it's quite an uncomfortable question. Give me a perception check, the both of you.
That's not good. 5.
7.
5 and 7. Yeah, you note that he
Hungover.
looks a little frustrated, or sad, maybe, at the question. And as his head sort of goes down, he walks away. Catalina, how are you looking for a
Close. It's
a
Lux.
tiefling? Sorry, Lux, yes. How are you looking for a tiefling? And as you are walking to the hatch, you will note that Neptune is just setting up in the carpenter's area.
Oh.
As you come past.
Okay, well, I'll be nosy and see what he's doing, first of all. Neptune is like a sweet-looking young man, right? You said he's 22?
He's
Yeah,
quite tall
he's
and
like-
strapping, but yes.
Yeah, but he's just a little bitty baby.
Yeah, he has like the mentality of a child. No. You get the idea that it's more of like he just doesn't interact with people enough to fully like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. Sheltered. Okay, then I'll just like kind of call out to you. Hey,
Yeah.
list kid. Neptune? Did you were with Bach, right? Did that Kira guy ever show up?
No, he was the only one we were missing off the list. So.
Ah, and you hadn't seen him, of course, right? I think I'll just gonna go take a look.
All right. Good luck.
Godspeed. And I guess I'm gonna go up. I don't know. Up out of the boat. Okay. Well, where was he seen last? Probably at the freaking bar or the inn, right?
That's the last
So I
thing
guess-
you've seen, yeah.
I'll check. There. I want to
As
ask.
you go to
like-
leave the boat,
Uh-oh.
box stick comes out and
Oh.
sorry.
Are we, I can't just take a quick, stretch my legs on the solid ground? I'll only
Stretch
be,
your
actually,
legs.
yeah, it's a little cramped down there. We're gonna be on the sea a while. I'm gonna
they-
just...
Get longer.
I mean, technically, I'll, do a yoga pose. So, one leg
He
is,
attempts to
perfectly straight
replicate
out. Okay.
It's not graceful.
Oh, be careful. That one's a little advanced. Sorry. Yeah, I'm doing, a dancer pose, but...
No one leaves the ship. Sonya
Oh.
orders. Captain.
Okay, right.
Sorry.
So, that guy who was missing, he hasn't.
Kiev.
The one guy, Kira. Yeah, the one guy on your list. No one's seen any sign of him.
No. Jacko's looking.
Oh, okay. Who can you? Oh, are they not on the ship?
Jacko's the bird. He smiles. I like the bird.
Hey, the bird. Can someone call the bird? I would love to actually have a word with the bird.
William's bird. Not Box.
Shit. All right. Thank
Naughty.
you.
He
Thank
says
you,
when you
Box.
say shit.
Sorry. That was my.
Problem.
You've been very helpful. I'll go find William.
He gets out the smallest accordion anyone has ever seen. It's like a little tiny squeeze box. And he's trying to do it with like just his finger and thumb, like this. But he can't press any of the
Oh my
buttons, so it's just the
goodness.
same note all the time.
Why doesn't he?
Is all it's doing.
I look at him with so much pity in my eyes. Like, we'll get you some bigger instruments.
He's having a hard time.
Yeah.
But the bird comes flying back as you're walking away.
I'll wave it down. Jacko. I heard his name, right?
Yeah, he flies straight past you and lands on William's shoulder.
God damn.
No, Kira!
Okay. No, Kira. I'll just go up to them.
You just
then.
hit, why not? And you see a tiefling face just poking down from the crow's nest. Why not, Kira?
I figured as much.
Kira! Oh.
He looks up and... Lad! Everyone's looking for you! But
How
nobody
long you been
called
up there?
my name. I've been here since the appropriated hour, dawn.
That's... Why did the bird fly up first?
When you say this, William gives a very, very intense stare to the bird, and the bird just stares him down.
Ugh. Well,
Staring contest, go.
I'll dust my hands off. Done my good deed for the day.
And William sort of says, Derek, to the helm. Sails unfurled. Get ye ready. Anchor up. And then you just hear a female voice. To sea! The crimson sail. Wow, sail, yeah, fuck me. That name just disappeared off my head halfway through.
Nice. Good job.
Sonya sort of looks
They're
up
still
and
getting used to it.
She was getting used to it. She was going for the keel. She was going for crimson
Yeah.
keel. Crimson sail, maiden voyage. Good to be back at sea.
I'll say.
Now, I brought you all a present. Isn't that nice of me? Everyone
we all
above
on the-
decks! Everyone above
okay.
decks! The night watch may remain asleep. Everyone above decks!
Do we hear this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if the silence thing would.
Yeah, if
No,
we hear
you
the
just
shouting,
hear it muffling through.
if we hear the shouting and orders, I would have come above deck.
I'd
Yeah,
head
I'll
up
warm myself
above
up
as
as
well.
well.
Yeah, and as you guys get up above the ship, above decks, you see her gesturing towards the captain's quarters. And coming out of the captain's quarters is our good friend Olive. And she is holding with her a man who is on his knees.
That sucks for him.
Excuse me?
On
Sort
his
of pulling him
knees.
behind.
Pinky.
How exciting. She sort of pulls him along and sort of tosses him down at the feet of the crew. And you lot, this man knows of an island. An island with treasure on it. So he tells us.
Oh.
Your task is simple. I want to know where it is.
Where's the island?
Did that work?
The man
Just
says
straight
no.
faced.
What's this guy look like? What's his deal? Just a regular man
He's got
tied
sort of
up?
like sort of salt and pepper, black and grey hair. He's got a metal collar around his neck.
Oh.
And he's wearing sort of what looks to be once fine clothes, but they're quite bedraggled. They've obviously got wet and dry a few times. There's smudges of dirt on them, a few rends and tears.
Okay.
Can he not talk?
I think it's more that he's refusing.
All right.
She sort of Olive just tosses out the leash in front of you all and steps back, and then Olive and Sonya sort of go over towards the helm where and take over from Derek and just tilling the helm gently and watching.
Can I just take out my axe and start to like line it up at his foot?
He looks up at you. Please don't.
Where's the island?
Know of an island.
Wait, did he say he doesn't or he does?
I don't know of an island. I don't know of any island with treasure. I don't know what they're talking about. I was just the accountant for this ship before it was taken from us all.
Oh. So you know Kira?
We taught him everything.
Not where the island was, though.
What island? I don't know of an island.
I'm gonna like look up at the captains. Like, is he saying this loud enough that everyone can hear it, or like whispering saying this?
He's speaking quite quietly, but there's not much noise going on right now. And they do seem to be able to hear everything. As you look around, every member of the crew is up on decks except for Percival, who is making lunch. Who I will come to shortly, by the way. And Mathis Denworthy.
Mathis
I
is not
sneak
here.
over to Sonya.
Yeah. I mean, you can't sneak; you can just walk. She's looking down at everyone, so she can't miss you.
So when I say sneak, I don't mean like I'm not gonna be I'm assuming it's like a circle of people gathered. I'm not.
Yeah, so everybody's sort of on the main deck
I'm
with
walking
him
around
in
the
front,
edge.
and then like
Yeah.
they're up on a plane, so they'll notice you, but everybody else might not notice you move up.
I'm just walking along the edge of everyone. Okay. I want to whisper in her ear.
You won't get close enough. As you get sort of fairly close, her saber comes out, and she was like, "Have you a problem with the order?"
I'm looking for her to say, "I can get him to talk."
Then do it.
And she's gonna like smile, like a little laugh, but look back at Sonya and say, "I need you to, or not you, someone to just come below deck with me quickly. It'll take 2 seconds. Find a closed door, just out of sight."
Someone then. Go and talk to them.
Someone of power or on this ship.
She sort of sighs. And her saber stays out, and Olive sort of says something very quietly, and then comes over to you and, "You're lucky. I'm curious. Come on then."
Do we walk away or what is?
Olive gestures for you to lead.
All right, I'll lead her to literally anywhere that's hidden where we can't be seen, behind a door.
Okay.
Literally, maybe just down the stairs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at Olive and say, "Olive, follow my lead." I'm gonna transform into. It's a person that's being interrogated.
Yeah. He's
it's a human.
Gray-haired man.
I'm gonna transform to someone who could also look like a prisoner as well, or captured. And I'm gonna look at.
As in, you want to transform into another member of the crew?
No, someone else pretending to be like I'm the dude captured or whatever the dude is.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, give me a second with him, and I can get him to talk. I'll trust him.
He shrugs. Gestures you upstairs.
Oh, but you have to act like I'm a prisoner.
That's not part of the fun. have to find another way this time.
I'll transform back. Fine. I'll take a dagger out.
I'm like
Um,
sitting there, like getting ready, and I'm just like,
He just keeps looking at you. Please don't. I don't know anything about an island. Nothing at all.
That was a waste of time.
Something's telling me he is not telling the truth.
I mean, like, you don't know of any island that ever exists. Like,
I know of
come on.
islands, but not one that specifically contains some sort of treasure. I'm not holding anything back. I told them everything.
Okay, well, I think you're probably gonna die if you don't come up with something. So,
I don't think. I think
lie.
that's.
I mean, I can make this quick, or I can make it really painful.
I can't lie.
What?
What do you
Like
mean
you're
you can't
incapable?
lie?
Can't lie. Right.
That's not an answer.
I don't know of an island.
I'm gonna like look into the rest of them and just be
What
like,
does he? Yeah, what does he mean by he can't lie? Like, he.
Give me an insight check.
Okay. 14.
He literally means he's unable to lie. Whether he's telling the
Does he
truth or not,
look
you're not sure.
roughed up?
Okay, so he means
Yes.
it literally.
He's definitely been roughed up.
Does he seem like he's on the verge of death?
No.
Or does he have some space?
No.
I will come up from
No.
behind and just shock and grasp him one time.
Whoa.
As the lightning sort of charges through him, as you're behind him, you can see Sonya, and you see a tiny little smile on her face.
Yeah,
Is
we'll
there
put
a
it
plank
down
anywhere?
next to his ear
Plank?
and just.
Walk the plank.
Oh, yeah, you can put him. You can try and make him walk the plank. Sorry, Annika, go on.
no, that's too quick.
I would just lean down next to him and say, "Suggest you say whatever will get you out of this."
Can't. I can't. I don't know of anywhere. Yeah, he sort of like starts to struggle a little bit. Lux, what are you doing?
I guess I'm watching this unfold and just kind of wondering, I guess, what he means. Okay, so he means he literally cannot lie. So
It seems to be implied.
yeah, so I guess I wonder if he are we just supposed to beat this guy up? Maybe that's the test, and I'll just give him a hoof to the tummy.
As you kick him in the stomach, he's
Come on.
like, no, I just don't know.
Nah,
And
come on, this
then-
guy's useless to us then. How about we just hang him from the mast until he talks?
And as you say that, Kira, sort of almost teleporting out of nowhere, puts a dagger straight into the side of his neck.
Ooh. What did he say?
He knows nothing. He is useless. And he
Okay.
kicks the body over the side.
Guess I was right then.
Sonya
we
sort of
pass,
looks
or-
over and... That is not advisable. The man knew
that-
nothing. But you could have at least played for a while.
Well, I was about to, but
Initiation over. She looks very angry.
Uh-oh.
What's
At
lunch?
us?
No, at Kira.
Okay.
Kira.
Specifically.
At
I was
Kira.
just, I was just like, what did I
Yeah,
do?
we were
Percival,
we
what's
were
for lunch?
supposed to just beat him up.
I'm just gonna cut his leg off.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness,
wow.
that poor guy, man. Yeah, so what do I have? What's in stock?
Yeah, so he would have showed you that there's dried meats, lots and lots of different dried meats. There's hard bread,
Yep.
there's cheese,
Yeah.
there's various different
Yeah.
vegetables, lots of vegetable needs. He has said use the vegetables sooner rather than later because they won't last all that long.
Yeah.
And that's about it, really. And then some salt, pepper, spices, etc.
Perfect. Then everyone is getting a
Potato.
No.
no. If I have enough of it, there's like lots and lots of stuff, right? We're not going to run out of anything anytime soon.
No.
right?
The ship's stocked for about
Yeah.
30 days.
Okay, perfect. Then I am going to cut up a bunch of the bread in order to make sandwiches. And I am going to, in a frying pan, because I don't have anything else to do, I'm basically going to make sandwiches with slices of cheese and slices of meat, and then grill them on the frying pan.
Ooh, wow.
And then I'll just have assorted of al dente, like vesa, a few like pieces of carrots and stuff like that that you can, people can just eat raw.
Okay.
Wow.
The 6 dwarves come flying into the kitchen, and each one of them is holding 8 plates. And they sort of stack them down in front of you and just look at you expectantly.
I will begin
And Brian
plating.
sort of goes, "Hi, Percival."
We love him.
Yes, dwarf.
Hi.
I like as I finish plating up the first batch, I'll slam the handle of the spatula I'm using to take out the sandwiches. Take the plates.
Okay. He picks up 2 plates and heads on him, looking like you've said nothing. The rest of the dwarves cooperate and give me a cooking check.
Yeah.
Not a nat 1. Not a nat 1.
Come on, this has got to be.
No,
better.
that is a 24.
Yeah,
Hey,
ready to
we
eat that
love to see
breakfast.
it.
Yeah, and
Oh, I ate it.
making up for the terrible stew, these fantastic sandwiches come flying out. And just as the last ones go out, Sonya comes in to the kitchen, Percival, eating hers from a plate. And I must say, it's quite nice. You asked about the initiation happening sooner rather than later. It was a bit of a debacle above. My second mate, Derek, you've met him?
Correct.
He has failed me. You will speak with the other crewmates and devise a suitable punishment.
In what way did he fail?
He was to keep an eye on the tiefling, and he lost him.
Very well.
Good. And, Percival? The quality of your cuisine won't matter if you fail me.
That won't be a problem.
Good. And as she sort of wanders off, Kira has headed up and he sort of shouts out, off to sea! Off to sea! Coast is clear. Hoist sails! And at that moment, as he sort of gestures out towards the ocean, you will see that you guys are headed down the South Channel, and you're going to be headed towards the trade lanes, effectively, where you might be able to make some attacks on other ships. Sonya clearly has some action planned, and fairly soon.
Oh boy.
Let's go.
After lunch, Derek Javane will give the order for people to go about certain tasks, and we'll head down into the appointed sort of second mate's quarters, leaving you all to discuss his fate. But we'll give you a week for that.
I was about to say, did
I was
Percy
actually
tell
hoping
us
to do it
that?
all, but I was actually hoping to do it all by myself.
No, she
Not all-
specifically
well,
instructed you to
not
speak
all
with
by
your
myself. Yes, but she didn't say which ones. I'd like to use the dwarves and only the dwarves.
crewmates. You would get the impression that she is implying because the
No,
first
that's
initiation
fine. I
failed,
will
she wants to
ask
see
the
the
other
new
people.
crewmates.
Yes.
But we will come to the timeless tradition of MVPs. And we'll start with Laura.
I have a couple little ones. When Percy sank under the water and all we heard was just, oh shit. Shit.
Yeah, the parrot specifically.
What a good
Yeah.
bird.
Bach playing the tiny accordion.
Ah, yes,
in
the
general,
squeeze box.
really.
You like Bach in
I'm
general.
gonna make him a good one. I'm gonna make him a good instrument.
Good.
And then a big plus for the ladies.
Ladies.
Yes. The ladies of liquor. Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the all the NPCs were great. I really like the kind of that atmosphere that's there so far. Like we're all kind of like having a good time and stuff like that, but there is this very underlying current of what happens if things go wrong, and this like very dark undercurrent that's really like tasty to be a part of. So yeah.
No.
I'm gonna have to go with the initiation going horrifically fucking wrong and the consequences of that. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens as a result of this.
Duff.
Yeah.
I loved all the NPCs. I love Bonk. He's gonna be great.
Bonk,
I love
not
Brian.
Bonk, no
Bonk.
N.
Yeah.
Bonk was
I
a
love
strange
Brian.
being we're leaving behind on a Tuesday.
I love Brian. I
man.
also love I loved Michaela's reaction to like, oh, we're gonna beat him up, and I'm like, I was gonna chop off his leg. And it's like, whoa!
Like, wow, you
I
really
was
jumped
just like,
straight to that.
I was full ready to just chop that leg off until Kira came in.
Matt.
I'm gonna have to get used to being part of the girls now.
That's right.
Yeah, you are.
Welcome to the ladies, Matt.
That's right.
I really enjoyed when Miltern was talking to the dude and he asked for a nice wooden chair. I don't know why I could not stop laughing when he said that.
Yeah, no, that was definitely amusing. The whole point, like, in my head is that this tiny little gnome's got this tiny little workshop, right? That's literally it's not even a full room, and Arthur wants a whole chair in there, and he's just like, I'd have to give up my bed! That's what was in my head. Michaela.
Yeah, that part of that same interaction was when Atherin said, like, set up a hammock for me in the workshop. And the guy immediately said, no, shut him down immediately. And then Atherin said, okay, immediately also. Like, no pushback at all. He just was like, alright, I tried.
Yeah,
But,
I shot my shot and I didn't land it, that was it.
Yeah,
Yep,
but my
that was
actual
it.
MVP is probably Kira. Like, I like talking to him. Like, it's a pretty interesting situation he's in, because he said he was with that old ship for like 5 years or something. So all those people he knew are, I presume, dead now. And now
Apart
he's
from
just
that
sailing
guy
with...
who he's just killed.
Yeah, exactly. And he's now sailing with their killers. So yeah, I am pretty interested. I like this character so far, yeah.
Good, I'm glad. I had a few. Jamal described his character as a fuckball. That just made me a great chuckle.
Hell yeah.
Matt
has to
slapped
be.
the first NPC that spoke to him. Laura looked at the dagger like it was poison when I asked her to throw it, which is hilarious. Josh trying to decide how sassy to be to the NPCs that might be a problem. I'm loving Lux's card readings. I've really enjoyed that. And
That was another one, I forgot it.
Neptune just looking to the guy who's about to get tortured and just going, where's the island?
Like, hey, listen, let's just keep it simple. Where's the island?
It was beautiful. But yeah, I'm very glad to be aboard with a lot of you. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
and
voyage
it was a
and
good first session.
And the voyage
Yeah.
and the
That was
adventure
awesome,
begin.
guys.
It's great to be back, but it's even better to be Bok. If you guys
yeah.
would like to say goodbye,
Goodbye.
Bye.
we shall see you soon.